Puppy talked about the Naga counter. It's Light of Heaven with his BKB. They turn it around. I don't even know how they're going to do it. Standing ovation from the crowd. The last tower will be going down.
Start to fight with that global and just try to blow up and get on top of that Zeus right away. Get into that backline. I mean, the Rubik and the Zeus are really starting to be quite an issue for them.
Chalice is in with the opener, straight in with the lasso. The tower will fall, but they'll drag back the Amber Spirit into the torrent, cut him down with the Tidebringer. He's dead, but on the side, they find Arme. Arme's dead for 60, still alive at the moment. And all the use, the dodge, Anna up into the end, dodging the Echo Slap. Somnus, he's trapped here in the Sprout. OG, they'll slowly punch down the Kuka. The stall of Vintage Jerax sets up onto FY. OG.
So this PL will continue just to BT split push this game out, get more and more money. And that, for me, is still the biggest problem for Evil Geniuses. Where do you go with this? Fear needs to have that damage-dealing item. But in order to do so, he's got to drop either his TP scroll or sell the Ring of Aquila. And Samel, Blink, Dragon Tail stun. Garda's going to be here with the hookshot as well. Laguna bites Samel. The Cogs Burn bought them a little bit of extra time. And with Samel down and no buyback, Roshan is a very, very juicy target here for CDEC.
Yeah, EG are going to know they're going for it though. First of all, it would be pretty obvious from the lane situation, but they also have a good ward around the river area to see that CDEC are moving in there now. I don't think EG are interested in contesting this 4-on-5, but maybe they can delay it long enough for it to be a 5-on-5 if they Ice Blast and Fissure properly. There is no hook shot.
They're all together. PPD, here comes the Ice Blast, ready for the dodge! In from Universe! It's a disaster! CDEC! They're gonna get wiped from the face of the earth, apart from aggressive. He'll jump out, but the Wombo combo perfectly hits from Evil Geniuses, and now they will take Roshan. Samel is back, they'll get the egg into the Immortal. OG right behind Arme, gets the jump, finds the Pugner. Vision will not find a stun. Pugner with no buyback. OG, they were really playing with fire. The Hex down the Terrorblade. Spectral Haunt looking for the frontline attack, but that's why Somnus goes into the backline. The BKB, they're into the backline. Shaker, he's bouncing around. Hawk shot, she stuns on the way through. ES is gone. No buybacks available. Have LGD done it? They're holding Anna. Hold him in place. Chalice will find the damage. F5 will die for it. No, really? Anna is actually running away, but it won't stop Arme from blinking up, looking for the tier 3 tower. 2 players left alive for OG. They're the big ones, however. Thompson and Anna on the defense duty. Fortification. It's delayed as much as they possibly can. And now the jump out. Hex, the boy in the bubble. Thompson able to be protected once again. Chalice very, very low on mana. They have a lot, but Arme, he'll change the life with Anna. Thompson needs to be pushed away. Able to do so. FY jumps onto the illusion only, so the hookshot won't be able to connect. But Anna, he needs to retreat. There's so much damage. Anna down. Buyback is available. They still have not taken the mid racks. OG are just trying to delay LGD for the moment. 5 heroes around. The bubble is there protecting the melee racks. Anna, Sunder! Once again, the Sunder switches the life. Arme's back up to full health, but the damage from Thompson, it's good enough to kill off the bait. Buyback is there. Somnus leads forward. They just keep bunching them around, but they're still battling from inside the bubble. Pugner will come to the world living LGD. They're going for the GG push. They're going up the tier 4 towers. OG, they have to hold the line. They have the numbers. Seven from the side with a Dagon Arme, but no! Sunder is back up. It is there. Chalice will fall. They lose the Enchantress. FY pushing around Anna. He's so low. Can they get the die back on him? You bet your Nelly they can. Arme still very, very low. The blast will kill him off. But buyback. LGD want this now. LGD, or can they? Backing up? No, they're not. Terrorblade. BT's forward. The ball is up. Thompson needs to defend. X-Nova very visible. You've got a very, very low life Marana. But OG, they can't find the target. X-Nova, he's got the grip. He's got the control. He's got the kill. Thompson is down, but ES is up. Where the Echo slam. Oh, there it is. Forward. There's your slam. There's the dunk. There's the play. Jirax, the savior of OG.
1,500 gold. He actually is going to go straight into the pipe here, opting to tank up even more.
Rolling boulder from Seth misses again, but there's the Infest Bomb, and this time Ohio's in trouble. Roar will come out, they have the magnetize, they get off the silence as well, and Ohio will get right-click down. The exorcism will go from Mushi, doing a decent amount of damage to that aggressive. The Borslow comes through, he has no Infest, he has the Armlet Toggle, needs to be careful, the Spirit Siphon coming out, the glimpse back onto aggressive, gets him back in there. They get the Grave off in time though, the open wounds will come through, they have the kinetic shield. There's the black hole, from the long ground, on to 3, Step as well as them one, are gonna get chewed down, 3 dead, Mushi gets a double kill. DJ, are you kidding me, from the low ground?
DJ, God, the crowd, he just goes insane as he hits the black hole of his life. And
Likely could just give this one up. The vision advantage with the Hawk does help. But nope, they're ready. They've actually got a smoke. They can bypass the Hawk with this, but
there's no way they take this in time. Fnatic need to get out. Mushi is going to be stunned by the boulder smash. They're going to come through. Showit looking for Ravage. Can't find it. Mushi pops the BKB early. Aggressive blinks in. Pops the Rage as well. Still has his BKB ready to go. They really want to contest this and take it down as quickly as possible. They get the refresher for Ohio. It's coming out. Double Roar is ready. Can they find a kill off of this? Maybe he's walking up with the Silver Edge. Ohio's going to get caught first. Ravage catches onto 2. Black Hole counter initiation. Static Storm on top. Aggressive is low. They get up to Static Storm. Showit pops the refresher. It's not enough. Maybe he's getting chewed through by mid 1. They get up the Roar. They'll lose 2. They'll lose 3. They buy back on the Tide. He's got another Ravage. They have no buyback on Maybe. What an initiation from DJ.
Secures another kill, and Tongfu is going to continue to push. They're not done. Mech still hasn't even been used. There's a hook. How? Brought all the way back to the base. Cleaned up by the fountain. And waddles his way back to the front lines.
Well, like I said, it does waste time, but they kind of need it. I mean, they need to be able to just eliminate somebody from the fight, very similar to what Mu can do for Tongfu. So if he had been a little bit farther up, he would have been able to throw the hook, but the thing is there was a range creep in the way. And there it is, yep.
Banana going for a ride on the Dindy Express. Welcome to the well. He just goes to Tongfu. And now charging back out. Dindy going to be spotted, and he doomed to Chen. That's a much better choice. Oh, he got him. He got him. Not going to follow it all the way because we got a battle to watch with Puppy. Trying to get away from it. Going to be telekinesis back. And they will be able to get him as well. There you so a 1-for-1 trade. And wow, Hal is still alive down there. Engagement breakout as Kuro. Oh, there we go. The hook. Got him. Zhan Xing taking the long ride to Shanghai. Welcome home. Navi is down. Can you say Mega Creeps? Navi, he got him. One more. This is what you call one for the road.
Man, I can't.
The game for IG. Who leads the way? I believe it should be Zoe. They're gonna cut for the shorter path. They storm up the river. Patience from Zoe. Waiting in the wings. Navi's about to be caught. Oh, there's the sleep. The surge. He catches everyone. Oh, this could be a total disaster. Vacuum in. Ravage on everyone. The black hole as well. Light of heaven. Turns it around. Ravage as well. Stolen by Dendy. Are you kidding me? They turn it around. 4 heroes dead.
5 heroes dead. Chuan trying to survive. Chuan's gonna go down. Puppy talked about the Naga counter. It's Light of Heaven with his BKB. They turn it around. I don't even know how they're gonna do it. Standing ovation from the crowd. The last tower will be going down.
Start the fight with that global and just try to blow up and get on top of that Zeus right away. Get into that backline. I mean, the Rubik and the Zeus are really starting to be quite an issue for them.
Chalice is in with the opener, straight in with the lasso. The tower will fall, but they'll drag back the Ember Spirit into the torrent, cut him down with the Tidebringer. He's dead once, but on the side, they find Ame. Ame's dead for 60. Still alive at the moment. And all the use! The dodge! Anna up into the end, dodging the Echo Slap. Somnus, he's trapped here in the Sprout. OG, they'll slowly punch down the Kuka. The Stolen Vision Jerax sets up onto FY. OG!
That this PL will continue just to BT split push this game out, get more and more money, and that for me is still the biggest problem for Evil Geniuses. Where do you go with this? Fear needs to have that damage dealing item. But in order to do so, he's got to drop either his TP scroll or sell the Ring of Aquila. And Samel, blink, Dragon Tail stun. Garda's going to be here with the hook shot as well. They're going to fight Samel. The Cogs burn bought them a little bit of extra time. And with Samel down and no buyback, Roshan is a very, very juicy target here for CDEC.
Yeah, EG are going to know they're going for it, though. First of all, it would be pretty obvious from the lane situation, but they also have a good ward around the river area to see that CDEC are moving in there now. I don't think EG are interested in contesting this 4-on-5, but maybe they can delay it long enough for it to be a 5-on-5 if they Ice Blast and Fissure properly. There is no hook shot.
They're all together. PPD, here comes the Ice Blast, ready for the dog! In from Universe! It's a disaster! CDEC! They're going to get wiped from the face of the earth, apart from aggressive. He'll jump out, but the Wombo combo perfectly hits from Evil Geniuses. And now they will take Roshan. Samel is back, they'll get the egg into the Immortal. OG right behind Ame, gets the jump, finds the Pugner. Vision will not find a stun. Pugner with no buyback. OG, they were really playing with fire. The Hex down the Terrorblade. Spectral Haunt looking for the frontline attack, but that's why Somnus goes into the back line. The BKB, they're into the back line. Shaker, he's bouncing around. Hawk shot, she stuns on the way through. He is gone. No buybacks available. Have LGD done it? They're holding Anna. Hold him in place. Chalice will find the damage. F5 will die for it. No, really? Anna is actually running away, but it won't stop Ame from blinking up, looking for the tier 3 tower. 2 players left alive for OG. They're the big ones, however. Thompson and Anna on the defense duty. Fortification. It's delayed as much as they possibly can. And now the jump out. Hex, the boy in the bubble. Thompson able to be protected once again. Chalice very, very low on mana. They have a lot, but Ame, he'll change the life with Anna. Thompson needs to be pushed away. Able to do so. FY jumps onto the illusion only, so the hookshot won't be able to connect. But Anna, he needs to retreat. There's so much damage. Anna down. Buyback is available. They still have not taken the mid racks. OG are just trying to delay LGD for the moment. 5 heroes around. The bubble is there protecting the melee racks. Anna, Sunder! Once again, the Sunder switches to life. Army's back up to full health, but the damage from Thompson, it's good enough to kill off the Bane. Buyback is there. Somnus leads forward. They just keep bunching them around, but they're still battling from inside the bubble. Pugner will come to the world living LGD. They're going for the GG push. They're going up the tier 4 towers. OG, they have to hold the line. They have the numbers. 7 from the side with the Dagon Army, but no! Sunder is back up. It is there. Chalice will fall. They lose the Enchantress. FY pushing around Anna. He's so low. Can they get the die back on him? You bet your Nelly they can. Arme still very, very low. The blast will kill him off. But buyback. LGD want this now. LGD, or can they? Backing up? No, they're not. Terrorblade. BT's forward. The ball is up. Thompson needs to defend. X-Nova very visible. You've got a very, very low life Mirana. But OG, they can't find the target. X-Nova, he's got the grip. He's got the control. He's got the kill. Thompson is down, but ES is up. Where the Echo slam. Oh, there it is. Forward. There's your slam. There's the dunk. There's the play. Jirax, the savior of OG.
1,500 gold. He actually is going to go straight into the pipe here, opting to tank up even more.
Rolling boulder from Seth misses again, but there's the Infest Bomb, and this time Ohio's in trouble. Roar will come out, they have the Magnetize, they get off the silence as well, and Ohio will get right-click down. The Exorcism will go from Mushi, doing a decent amount of damage to that aggressive. The Borslow comes through, he has no Infest, he has the Armless Toggle, needs to be careful, the Spirit Siphon coming out, the Glimpse back onto aggressive, gets him back in there. They get the Grave off in time though, the Open Wounds will come through, they have the Kinetic Shield, there's the Black Hole, from the low ground, on to 3! Seconds and one are gonna get chewed down. 3 dead. Mushi gets a double kill. DJ, are you kidding me? From the low ground.
DJ, God, the crowd here just goes insane as he hits the black hole of his life. And
Likely could just give this one up. The vision advantage with the Hawk does help. But nope, they're ready. They've actually got a smoke. They can bypass the Hawk with this, but
there's no way they take this in time. Fnatic need to get out. Mushi is going to be stunned by the Boulder Smash. They're going to come through. Shao looking for Ravage. Can't find it. Mushi pops the BKB early. Aggressive blinks in. Pops the Rage as well. Still has his BKB ready to go. They really want to contest this and take it down as quickly as possible. They get the refresher for Ohio. It's coming out. Double Roar is ready. Can they find a kill off of this? Maybe he's walking up with the Silver Edge. Ohio's going to get caught first. Ravage catches onto two. Black hole counter initiation. Static Storm on top. Aggressive is low. They get up to Static Storm. Shower pops their Frederick's down enough. Maybe he's getting cruiser by mid one. They get up the roar. They'll lose two. They'll lose three. They buy back on the Tide. He's got another Ravage. They have no buyback on Maybe. What an initiation from DJ.
Secures another kill. And Tongfu is going to continue to push. They're not done. Mech still hasn't even been used. There's a hook. How? Brought all the way back to the base. Cleaned up by the fountain. And waddles his way back to the front lines.
Well, like I said, it does waste time, but they kind of need it. I mean, they need to be able to just eliminate somebody from the fight, very similar to what Mu can do for Tongfu. So if he had been a little bit farther up, he would have been able to throw the hook, but the thing is there was a range creep in the way. And there it is, yep.
Banana going for a ride on the Dindy Express. Welcome to the well. Aegis goes to Tongfu. And now charging back out. Dindy gonna be spotted, and he doomed to Chen. That's a much better choice. Oh, he got him! He got him! Not gonna follow it all the way because we got a battle to watch with Puppy. Trying to get away from it, gonna be telekinesed back. And they will be able to get him as well. There you so a 1-for-1 trade. And wow, Hal is still alive down there. Engagement breakout as Kuro. Oh, there we go. The hook, got him! Zhan Xing taking the long ride to Shanghai. Welcome home. Navi's down. Can you say mega creeps? Navi, he got him! One more! This is what you call one for the road!
Man, I can't.
The game for IG. Who leads the way? I believe it should be Zoe. They're gonna cut for the shorter path. They storm up the river. Patience from Zoe. Waiting in the wings. Navi's about to be caught. Oh, there's the sleep. The surge. He catches everyone. Oh, this could be a total disaster. Vacuum in. Ravage on everyone. The black hole as well. Light of heaven turns it around. Ravage as well. Stolen by Denny. Are you kidding me? They turn it around. 4 heroes dead.
5 heroes dead. Chuan trying to survive. Chuan's gonna go down. Puppy talked about the Naga counter. It's light of heaven with his BKB. They turn it around. I don't even know how they're gonna do it. Standing ovation from the crowd. The last tower will be going down.
Start the fight with that global and just try to blow up and get on top of that Zeus right away. Get into that backline. I mean, the Rubik and the Zeus are really starting to be quite an issue for them.
Chalice is in with the opener, straight in with the lasso. The tower will fall when they'll drag back the Ember Spirit into the torrent, cut him down with the Tidebringer. He's dead, but on the side, they find Arme. Arme's dead for 60, still alive at the moment. And all the use, the dodge, Anna up into the end, dodging the Echo Slap. Somnus, he's trapped here in the Sprout. OG, they'll slowly punch down the Kuka. The Stolen Vision Jerax sets up onto FY. OG.
So this PL will continue just to BT split push this game out, get more and more money. And that, for me, is still the biggest problem for Evil Geniuses. Where do you go with this? Fear needs to have that damage-dealing item. But in order to do so, he's got to drop either his TP scroll or sell the Ring of Aquila. And Samel, blink, Dragon Tail stun. Garda's going to be here with the hookshot as well. Laguna bites Samel. The Colts burn bought them a little bit of extra time. And with Samel down and no buyback, Roshan is a very, very juicy target here for CDEC.
Yeah, EG are going to know they're going for it, though. First of all, it would be pretty obvious from the lane situation, but they also have a good ward around the river area to see that CDEC are moving in there now. I don't think EG are interested in contesting this 4-on-5, but maybe they can delay it long enough for it to be a 5-on-5 if they Ice Blast and Fissure properly. There is no hook shot.
They're all together. PPD, here comes the Ice Blast, ready for the dog! In from Universe! It's a disaster! CDEC! They're gonna get wiped from the face of the earth, apart from aggressive. He'll jump out, but the wombo combo perfectly hits from Evil Geniuses, and now they will take Roshan. Samel is back, they'll get the egg into the Immortal. OG right behind Arme, gets a jump, finds the partner. Vision will not find a stun. Partner with no buyback. OG, they were really playing with fire. The Hex down the Terrorblade. Spectral Haunt looking for the front line attack, but that's why Somnus goes into the back line. The BKB, they're into the back line. Shaker, he's bouncing around. Hawk shot, she stuns on the way through. He has his gone. available. Have LGD done it? They're holding Anna. Hold him in place. Chalice will find the damage. F5 will die for it. No, really? Anna is actually running away, but it won't stop Arme from blinking up, looking for the tier 3 tower. 2 players left alive for OG. They're the big ones, however. Thompson and Anna on the defense duty. Fortification. It's delayed as much as they possibly can. And now the jump out. Hex, the boy in the bubble. Thompson able to be protected once again. Chalice very, very low on mana. They have a lot, but Arme, he'll change the life with Anna. Thompson needs to be pushed away. Able to do so. FY jumps onto the illusion only, so the hookshot won't be able to connect. But Anna, he needs to retreat. There's so much damage. Anna down. Buyback is available. They still have not taken the mid racks. OG are just trying to delay LGD for the moment. 5 heroes around. The bubble is there protecting the melee racks. Anna, Sunder! Once again, the Sunder switches to life. Arme's back up to full health, but the damage from Thompson, it's good enough to kill off the bait. Buyback is there. Somnus leads forward. They just keep bunching them around, but they're still battling from inside the bubble. Pugner will come to the world living LGD. They're going for the GG push. They're going up the tier 4 towers. OG, they have to hold the line. They have the numbers. 7 from the side with a Dagon Arme, but no! Sunder is back up. It is there. Chalice will fall. They lose the Enchantress. FY pushing around Anna. He's so low. Can they get the die back on him? You bet your Nelly they can. Arme still very, very low. The blast will kill him off. But buyback. LGD want this now. LGD, or can they? Backing up? No, they're not. Terrorblade. BT's forward. The ball is up. Thompson needs to defend. X-Nova very visible. You've got a very, very low life Marana. But OG, they can't find the target. X-Nova, he's got the grip. He's got the control. He's got the kill. Thompson is down, but ES is up. Where the echo? That is what you sound like.
Такая халява.
You sound like. That is what you sound like. That is what you sound like. Ding, mother, ding, 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 mother. You sound like. That is what you sound like.
10 seconds. 5 seconds remain. Now for the old razzle dazzle. Radiant's turn to ban.
Yesterday in the interview, he mentioned that Taiga has been wanting to take a little bit more of a lead in the offlane. If he's playing together with Bo3, he apparently voiced that he wants to be a little bit more greedy, so maybe sometimes try out the 3 role or switch it around, or basically be flexible with Bo3 in that offlane. And we saw that yesterday when they had that Puck Sand King lane, and Taiga absolutely went off. Like, it was amazing.
Yeah. I think why they did it is because Sand King doesn't need mana against the enemy. You can still pressure him with the caustic finale, and Puck was just stacking the camps, stacking the ancients, and this is where the gold comes from. It's 40% of the gold. It's actually insane.
Now,
stacking equals good.
And apart from that, anything in particular you're looking to see? We're about ready to drop to the Pantheon of Draft, or go up to the Pantheon of Draft. But anything, final words you guys want to share?
I just want them to stick to their comfort zone heroes and give themselves the lineup that they are confident to execute, because OG creates chaos, and I don't necessarily trust Liquid to perform if they have like a very strict window to win the game.
I want to see an even game. That's all I want to see. I do not want to see a 20-minute stomp, 5k gold lead, 10 minutes in. It's just not fun to watch. And we'll see. OG just plays extremely fast. So.
All right. Well, let's see if we can get an even game out of these 2 squads, OG and Liquid. Let's head over to the draft for game 1.
Dire's turn to pick. Radiant's turn to pick.
How nice of you to join us on this most wonderful of afternoons, evenings, mornings, wherever you are, for Liquid versus OG, game number 1. Now, gentlemen, we heard the Fluff panel talk about it for a little bit, T-Gov, Kyle, that both of these teams maybe not matching expectations. OG, before yesterday, looking pretty good, but then see them in this secret matchup, things are looking shaky. Liquid, on the other hand, somewhat on an upwards trajectory, beating Flight of Moon, but still, even in that game, there were some moments where we're still not seeing the Liquid that we expect. So where are we seeing this series? Are we seeing OG being the dominant form and Secret was just a slip up, or are both these kind of meeting at the same midpoint right now?
I think we have to kind of see who shows up. All right, Tika, we're talking. OG kind of already had locked up upper bracket before they even played Secret, so I'm not going to say they phoned it in, but they did take Huskar 2 games in a row, and a game that maybe you shouldn't be picking Huskar in. Liquid, on the other hand, often slow start in tournaments. I think they found their form again. Notably, OG just first picked Bloodseeker.
The best thing about this, I said this to Jenkins upstairs, like 100% OG going to pick Bloodseeker this series, because after they lost yesterday, do you know what Seb did? He played 2 pubs of Bloodseeker off lane. The first game, he played with Puppey, coincidentally. So he queues up his game. He's like, you know what? I need to learn this hero. He buys Phase, Drum, then Veil. Not the right build. You know, we've seen the Veil rush 7 minutes of strong, and he lost the game, you know, as he should. He then goes for another game. He goes for a Bloodseeker offlane. He gets a 7-minute Veil, stomps the game. And clearly at that point, it clicked. He was like, I gotta play this tomorrow, lads. Yeah. This series for OG, it means nothing to them. They're already second place in the group. They can do whatever they want. So they're gonna be experimenting and just having a lot of fun. Liquid, they have to win to get out of that tiebreaker situation.
Yep. And to clarify, it's because OG are tiebreakers number 2-0 Series 1. OG in their 3 wins has won them all 2-0.
Correct.
Viking in their 3 wins have won them all 2-1. So they're through. They also go with the Wind Ranger, straight up just poaching Secret strat. And I think a lot of it is, I didn't even really notice it until I saw Secret utilizing it, right? But the Veil change, where it's now raw spell damage amplification, whereas previously it was 25% magical amplification, now it's 18% spell damage, so even physical spells. But ultimately, when you have a huge pure damage nuke, as we saw yesterday, the Veil represents so much damage.
It's interesting to see though. Like, I think Liquid as a team, and why they've maybe looked a little bit less on form, is they're always a bit clunkier in their approach to drafts. They try to optimize combos rather than like the flex picks and kind of get into a later point and getting them in the draft. Mars Phoenix, for example, it's that slow combo that can win it off lane, but does it beat high pacing? And I think, like, I was using Dota 2 Pro Tracker, right? I see that Seb's playing the Bloodseeker. I can maybe expect this. The fact they're still going for this slower combo against this, it's interesting to see.
And before I get to that point, you'll notice this draft's going to move along a little bit faster. That's because both teams were late. Liquid has a level 2 draft penalty. OG has a level 1 draft penalty. So we're going to zip through the bans a little faster than normal. To your point, I think Phoenix Mars is as close to the bread and butter for Liquid as you can get. This is the combo they've been running. I'd say after the nerfs to Coddle, once that fell out of the meta, I thought that was probably Insania, or rather their support of choice. Whereas now, if they can get it, Phoenix Mars has been one of their staples for, I want to say, the entirety of this online Dota phase.
It's been pretty much, again, their bread and butter. For Liquid though, like, this is, again, another shortcoming for them. Is they're a first pick team. In this tournament, they've always picked it when they won the coin toss, but they're the team that has the biggest like change in openings. They played like 6 or 7 different first pick openings. Like, they don't really know what their identity is, it feels like. And going into this series when it's kind of like, you have to win, I think they've defaulted to the Phoenix, and then, again, potentially abusable. We'll see, early days.
So how much of this previous Secret draft do you think OG is going to be taking for their own purposes? Are they satisfied? What was the Wind Ranger really contributing even in that Secret game that made them feel so compelled to pick it first phase here?
It was primarily for Secret in that series, it was the flex between mid and position 4. The fact that you can play it into the Huskar lane, for example, or you can just have that shackle for the Bloodseeker in the side lane. It's that chip within the laning phase, and just overall obnoxiousness to kill. It's very hard to kill these heroes once they get online a little bit. High move speed, name of the game.
At first I thought it was similar to, I remember my misadventure with Fear. We flew to Peru to play an open qualifier. The meta at the time was there was this mag offlane, and you would just effectively make your 4 as strong as possible. So you'd see in a mag go level 1 in power, buff his Wind Ranger, and she would just hit enemy support, and you really couldn't trade. I thought that was the concept, but I think Tika was on it, where it's more about setting up the blood rate, and then also one of the highest magical damage nukes in Dota, combined with Bloodseeker. So you hit the shackle, double nuke with a Veil. It's like over 1,000 magic damage. It's just like the support's dead. A core is almost always dead as well.
Another interesting thing to see between, let's say, the position 5 matchups in these teams. All the heroes that Note have been playing have a way of healing or enabling his team. Oracle, Tree, like all these types of heroes, they're enablers. Whilst Liquid, on the other hand, Insane is playing a bit more like aggressive, Grimstroke, AA. He's trying to be a bit more of a bruiser. So a nice kind of contradiction in support style coming out from these two teams.
It's a really good point. OG is much more concerned with their stacking specifically. You'll see Notel do that a ton on his Ench or his Furion. Whereas with Liquid, it really feels like they're always trying to kind of build this Gundam of sorts, because you don't typically see them do the double defensive support. I remember there was a phase where they'd pick a lot of like Oracle IO as an example, but yeah, a lot of Grimstroke from Insania, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them just go all in on the battling. But how will they deal with the Bloodseeker is the big question for me, because I mean, so far undefeated in tournament play.
Tell me Huskar's not the answer here?
Huskar is definitely not the answer.
Okay, fine. So we're fairly confident this is going to be a 3-position Bloodseeker, right? Because in the secret drafts, we were like, well, there's potential for it to roam around. It's pretty much locked in to be a 3 at this point.
I would think so. It just wouldn't make sense otherwise. I'm sure OG can play it in other roles. A mid one can definitely play Bloodseeker, but I think that Zai sort of proved, if you're buying Veil on Bloodseeker, you don't really want it to be your carry, but at the same time, like, this is the thing that's weird about Dota, is that if that item hero combination is so valuable, then you can shift it to your 1 position and then compensate for perhaps your lack of scaling power or physical damage through your offlaner or your mid.
Yeah, like, it's always curious how itemization's like, sometimes you're like, oh, I can afford to get this item slower, so I'll make it a lower farm priority. Or like, why not get it even faster? I'll make it a higher farm priority. And a 3-position offlane is kind of right in the sweet spot.
This Rubik pick is pretty interesting, because I think it then means that the Windrunner will most likely be mid or even put down into that 5 role. So again, kind of contradicting the point of what Notel's hero pool has been if they do put it in that position. And it's all about just like damage, right? Like the Rubik, Steel Veil, increased damage. That Veil, so OG's got a really scary, like, skirmishy lineup that will sweep across the map. And the important thing to note about this Bloodseeker is just the play style. I think people look at the hero and they think of the old days. It's the fact that you buy these items and you don't care about just running into the fight and just being in the midst of it, right? Like, I thought when I first saw it, it would be more kind of wait for the fight to happen and then commit at the end, but it's not. The way that you want to play is just get in there and punish the pacing of the game.
You just have such insane strength gain, and you just run in. Ultimately, CM Liquid picked, I think, a couple days ago.
They did, yep.
Fits their motive. In addition, I think it's low-key pretty good against Bloodseeker, because you've got movement speed slows are super effective against a hero that's effectively running around like a race car at all times, and you have a freeze. It's just nice to have multiple methods of disable, and then late game, you just pop ulti after BKB.
The question is, does Liquid go for like a Brood situation here? I know Bloodseeker is good against Brood because, of course, you just rupture him and you abuse the webs, but they've run it twice so far in this tournament, and they've lost both games, so it's on that front is a little bit gone.
It's a little risky against Bloodseeker.
Oh wait, no, what am I saying? They can't pick it because again, core winner on it, it's just hard count. Ignore me. It's a terrible pick. Scratch that. Thank you.
Yeah, that's the benefit of OG's draft, where because they have still this open Wind Ranger possibility for middle, it denies a lot of the picks you might want to
game counters, not lane counters. Okay, yeah.
However, if OG wanted to literally just straight up steal the same draft as Secret, then you would probably finish off with a Chen, because that is what Secret did in game 2 of the OG Secret showdown with this Bloodseeker. So far they have the exact same thing.
Yeah, I don't think Liquid's answering. Like, I think we saw 2 amazing games from Secret yesterday and how to execute this type of lineup. And I don't think Liquid in any way is reacting to the playstyle. They're going for their own draft, their own comfort. Is hard counted by this playstyle.
How so? Yeah, because I feel OG or Liquid have significantly more team fight than OG did previously. They're playing around like it's a Mars revealed right now. It's not a Drow Huskar they're showing.
So the way that I mean is, Liquid, to get to a point of confidence of standing still and fighting, they need to have like items on the drought, right? You're expecting the Mars like to just free farms already. Like the timings on OG, they're not answered. You're gonna see the Veil, you're gonna see a free farm Lifestealer, you're gonna see the support Joe move around freely. Windrunner and Rubik, compared to the likes of CM Phoenix, even the Windrunner can still be core. Like, I'm seeing OG be able to make moves. When like Drow, you want to have something that can body in front of you in lane, right? Normally you see a melee 5. We're seeing a Crystal Maiden. What are they going to do when they walk to a lane and you see Blood Rights just spammed in your face? They have to bring out more regen. They're getting fade bolted. Like, I just don't see Liquid having a strong enough laning phase where they at least go slightly ahead to be able to have a strong rebuttal in those early tower defenses.
It goes back to that same conversation about items, right? Because you consider, assuming we see, let's say, an Armlet on the Lifestealer and a Veil on the Bloodseeker, there's no item Drow can buy for that amount of gold, even like 3,000 gold. What is a Drow going to get that's going to have realistic game impact? Typically we see Dragonlance, and when you compare the damage spike that these enemy heroes on OG are going to get, it's just not comparable. So if you're not fighting around the big ultimates of your Mars and Phoenix, you're going to have difficulties, whereas OG, they don't want team fights, they want skirmishes, they want pickoffs, they want to create chaos around the map.
The question is, so they have, okay, they pick off, they got mid DK, they've got a stun, a way to at least start the fight. I'm still scared about the overall, there's early defenses from these big skirmishes. DK doesn't really bring that much damage, he brings control, Mars brings control, Drow needs to farm, not a lot, like, the first 15 minutes of this game will be very scary for Liquid. Sure, late game they have a lot of answers for things, but that transitional period, I'm scared for them. And OG, if they put this window on the mid, okay, they put it down to 5, pick up an Ember Spirit, all about tempo, all about painting. And this is why this window on a pick early, you see from the bounds from Liquid, they were baited into thinking, it's just a window on a mid, guys, they need no-tail. But no, it's going to be put all the way down to 5, Ember mid, tempo is way too high for OG.
I think that I agree with your points. I think OG's early mid-game is going to be sick, but don't underestimate Liquid's ability to find towers in trade and then ultimately get that one nice fight that can win them the game, because their team fight is still insane.
That is true.
OG's lineup is kind of all in on killing one target at a time, whereas Liquid, you're going to put your DK in front, and it's not the same as, say, the Huskar, where you were already relying on mid one to do a lot of damage as well. Koifa's just going to try and, him and Boxy can just go in. They're going to be able to protect Mickey on the Drow, and ultimately I think their team fight is plenty. DK also and Drow match up really well against Ember Lifestealer. If you get a pop stun into a silence, like, these heroes die, and typically OG would have some sort of hard saving mechanism, which in this game they're lacking. So if you can get initiation from Liquid and then cover it with your ultimates, there's nothing OG can do to counterplay. Like, they're just going to get rolled. And then Liquid's structure damage is significant, so they're going to get an objective off of any fight win.
Odds were favoring OG, unsurprisingly, but they're putting their own flair on the secret draft. What is it that made them feel like they should pick this Ember Spirit and demote the Wind Ranger down to a lower farm priority? Is it because of the DK, or they just had a different game plan in mind?
I think potentially could have been the deterrent of this DK pick. High armor here, you can't really kill him. Sure, you have to go MKB maybe. The Mars as well, the Arena, another light counter, but I think Kyle mentioned points about how out of all the teams, I think Liquid is the one team with this type of lineup that is somewhat defensive, waiting for later. They can execute it and pull it off. But I think the way that OG got demolished yesterday, I think they got such a foot in their gusto to come back today that I think their skirmishing ability will potentially outweigh Liquid's later timings.
I don't think so. I think Liquid's got this one.
Oh, damn.
I think they're going to be just fine.
We got conflict on the draft panel.
The concern is only I just think about Topson Ember Spirit. We talk about why Ember, because you have Topson. He doesn't really want to play this Wind Ranger. Ember Spirit's it's a great game. We can assume there'll be a pre-10-minute Veil on the Bloodseeker. So the damage potential of Topson is nuts. If he gets off to a good start, it's really tough to kill him. However, I think Liquid ultimately can make more mistakes and still win the game. They really just need one Aegis, one big team fight in the mid game, and with BKBs online, they're unkillable now. You're going to take fights.
OG experimenting around, see if they can get away with Secret's draft in this 3-position Bloodseeker, and Liquid trying to avoid a 3-way tiebreaker situation. Let's see how it all pans out in game number 1.
Stand and deliver. That's the phrase I've been using to describe Liquid's strategy for this game 1 up against the Bloodseeker, which OG, are they really taking it from Secret, or have they developed them themselves? We heard from Matu yesterday. They had watched Seb play the Bloodseeker off lane and made it a strategy for themselves. So now it's their chance to see OG in contact with it and see how it goes.
So what I'm interested in when it comes to this match is we finally get to see what Bloodseeker looks like in a top-tier game when you're not against a Huskar.
Yeah.
You're not against this Huskar Oracle. Is it actually good, or did it only work because of the Huskar picks from OG? So I'm really happy to see that tested here, as well as the Mars buffs in the recent patch. I think this hero is overpowered. I think he's just one of the best offlaners in the game right now, so I'm super stoked to see how he pops off.
And after all, you've got one of the best Mars players in the game, Bo3, who is just an incredibly unique style of offlaner, a player who is so aggressive and simultaneously so mechanically skilled that he's able to pull off some sort of untraditional offlane heroes. He even is able to play the mid lane, as apparently he's a grim partner, I guess, with Koifa. They play the mid matchup quite a number of times against each other. And obviously well practiced with Mars, being his third most played hero. As top lane, we're going to see Insania potentially die here, but he gets out of the Blood Right, so we'll be okay.
That's an interesting combo, the Bloodseeker with the Wind Ranger Shackle Shot. That's some pretty good setup for the Blood Right. You know, it's no tiny, but it's something.
Yesterday we saw Rubik with it, right? Telekinesis into Blood Right.
Yep. Always want to have some sort of stun to set up for that from your forward position, just so that way your laning has some sort of kill threat.
Yeah.
It's there.
Bo3's going to be paired up with Taiga here in the bottom lane. Phoenix, which I feel like, I don't have the numbers to back this up, Jenkins, but I feel like Liquid has probably run this duo more so than any other tier 1 team. It's just kind of iconic for them, right?
It's a good duo. I mean, just the fact that you just plant all of your things, you put the egg down, you put the arena down, and it's impossible to fight in, but you also can't run away from it because that's the Mars arena.
See Seb being pushed away from the double range combo, which I kind of have to assume is going to be bad for Bloodseeker. Being matched up against CM Drow Ranger, that sounds really painful.
Yeah, he can always default to just shoving the wave with Blood Right, and once he's got the level 2 in that ability, that becomes a lot more true, so I think he should be fine up here.
Turn around on Bo3 here, push them back with the God's Rebuke, trying to get some distance as he backs away. Fresh round of Fire Spirits is up, so they do back out. Our first blood still yet to be claimed, and almost caught there in the top lane against Seb again, but one of these side lanes is definitely going to go down here, Jenkins. They're both so low.
He has no dive on Phoenix.
Yeah, another 7 seconds. Mid one has the open wound. And there it is. Finally, the first blood is picked up, and it's for No Tails 5 position Rubik.
Man, that Rubik buff to the Fade Bolt damage at level 1 is super noticeable.
Yeah.
I was honestly shocked when they changed that, because like Rubik was in S tier position 4 before that, and then they gave him that, as well as percentage damage, which is great against a lot of these illusion heroes that are getting picked in Drow.
Now let's talk about our mid matchup, where Koifa is currently dominating at 21-5 compared to the 11-2 of Thompson's Ember Spirit. Sox is going to go down to the multi-shot here, and Seb, well, he's trying to man up against Mickey right now, throws down the Blood Right. Mickey will get out of it, pops his stick, and if he survives through this, they'll manage to get 2 kills for themselves, 1 apiece for Insania and Mickey.
Man, this is a clinic here. Like, how do you dumpster this hard with Dragonite? I feel like every time I see this hero, it's like, oh, it's a Dragonite. He's gonna go even in the lane.
Yeah.
And then he just dumpsters somehow. I mean, shoutouts to Koifa. This definitely isn't just like a DK heavily favored matchup. I think he's just outskilling.
Oh, perfect for Thompson, though. Gets a regen rune. So between the bottle being delivered, getting full up, and then now a regen rune is top of that, you should be fine for the rest of the laning phase. Still concerned about his CS, though.
Yeah, not going for that Flame Guard build, so he can't really jungle up that fast. He can't push out the lane. He's really heavily focusing on killing people in this game, which, you know, that's a Thompson classic. That's what he likes to do.
Yeah, I mean, that's why the draft panel was talking about, is it really going to be Wind Ranger mids? After all, it's Thompson, you know, maybe give him a hero that has a bit more freedom in this game. Soxa once again getting low, and is going to use the Frostbite to try and get the kill. The multi-shot is out onto Seb as well. Insania has 1 more round of nukes, but they'll just get the 1 kill onto Soxa. All 3 lanes going well for Liquid here, as they have the top 3 CS.
As surprisingly, this bot matchup you'd think is super lifestealer favored, because you have this like tanky melee guy that you're playing up against. But it's one of these weird scenarios where if Mars is about to throw the spear, do you rage? What if you rage and he doesn't throw the spear? What if you rage and then he just kills you after the spear misses? It's it's a tough one. It's the same thing with Mars versus Jug. It's not as favored towards that magic immune hero as you would think, just because Mars does a lot of damage outside of the spear.
Oh god, these frost arrows are so annoying. They're gonna come in, try and hit the shackle shot. Doesn't last anything. That power shot doing so much damage though, and it almost brings Mickey down. Meanwhile, Insania is looping around the side here. He knows that Seb is somewhere in these trees area, and as soon as he pops out, he sees his opportunity. Raindrop will protect him from one nuke, and he doesn't have the mana to throw out the second one here. That may end up getting Mickey killed. Asaka, he sees the opportunity underneath the tier 1. He's gonna go for the hunt. He gets the kill. Back over to mid lane where Thompson's gonna go down. Insania though, still in trouble. Has to dodge this blood right, but the power shot. He's got nowhere to run to and nowhere to hide. A double kill for Saksa.
That's an interesting combo, isn't it? Where you... Oh, No Tail.
They're still going for it in the mid lane, man. They got the kill onto Thompson. No Tail, who tried to come in and help his mid laner, ends up dying as well. So even as that top lane fight doesn't go so hot for Liquid, they get probably a bigger kill on Thompson, right? Because
absolutely. I mean, the best part about it is the siege creep survived, so they got a ton of damage onto Thompson's tower there with the DK form.
And the illusion rune before he lost his dragon form.
That's the dream, dude. You know Thompson wants to nuke these. Like, he wants to kill them. Oh, he's going to send them around.
Okay.
I think, yeah, he's sending them around.
So just one at a time, it's just going to hit the tower and just try and hit that.
I think that makes sense.
Okay. Well, Thompson, one of the big things, like, they may not be doing the best in the laning phase, but Thompson has a pretty free game here, right? Like, he should be able to run around and get a lot of kills. There are a lot of squishy heroes for him to pick up, one of which is going to be Insania, who is going to have to commit the remnants for underneath the tier 2 tower. The Slight will do the final blow.
Man, this CM hero can look very hit or miss, even within one game. Like, Insania is doing a ton of damage in the laning phase. Like, the nukes look so strong. Yeah, like, this happens all the time with Lifestealer. It's such a weird situation to be laning against a Mars. Because you don't want to just pop Rage and then you don't have it and you just get dove, right?
And it's not like Lifestealer, like one of the best things about Lifestealer is he feels good about trading hits with pretty much any melee hero. But Mars becomes a lot more difficult because Mars can actually stand there thanks to his shield. And then on top of that, God's Rebuke is a really powerful tool against Lifestealer.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, what can you do if somebody just rushes a Soul Ring like this and they just continue to spam out the spear?
Is mid one close to 6? Okay, I think that's part of what it was. He really wanted to stick around, pick up his level 6, and then need full heal.
Yeah, that
off
does
of
make
Infest.
sense. This is a really nice thing you can do with the Bloodseeker is cut behind like that, cut the wave. You just have infinite regen.
Mickey, he knows the Blood Right was going to go out too, trying to get a little bit closer, gets the other side of it, and now they do manage to catch Thompson here, but there's no follow-up disable. Boxy still looking for that arena, but Seb is a bit too fast to catch him. So a rotation from Liquid that will not amount in much, but at least Mickey doesn't die. Telekinesis, they're going to save this regen rune for Thompson. Another one. What is that? 2 out of 3 of the runes were regen for Thompson?
That's pretty nice when you're playing a spirit hero. Very nice. Although, you know, he would also... wouldn't mind a East Room just to get active in these side lanes. Like, Koikfa has been putting on a lot of pressure mid, and Thompson would like to respond to that by pressuring the side lanes. That's kind of how Ember deals with that. I don't think you can kill a DK exactly.
So it seems to me like, Shackle shot into the blood, right? We're going to see this combo go out. The arena does go down. He gets off a spear first. Now he's stuck inside the Rapture, or the Rupture, and he does manage to get away from behind the arena wall. No Tail is still going to try and come in for this kill, but all of Liquid is here, and now they're stuck in a nasty situation. No Tail knows he's dead, so he tried to run at the Mars, but by that point, Boxy had already gotten away. Now Thompson is still here cutting through. They've already killed Insania, and they know there are some low heroes here. First, they're going to spot Mickey here. Chains out into the Blood Right. It does land. Koifa's going to come through, though, and does manage to get a stun onto the Bloodseeker. They're going to turn onto him. The Raindrop protecting him a little bit, but slowed down so much by the Frost Arrow that Koifa is able to collect that kill. A Dragon Form well spent, but Thompson, as crazy as he is, you know he wants to continue to terrorize the side of Liquid. Spots a Courier, doesn't get it. He's going to see Mickey here, but Mickey is pretty healthy, especially with Taiga behind him. Thompson tries to go the TP out. This is just crazy, Thompson. And he feeds away a kill to Taiga.
What just happened?
You know, you live by the terrorizing Thompson touch, and sometimes you die by it, you know?
Man.
That fine line between genius and madness, you know?
It really is. It really is. I remember a while back when they were in NA, I think for TI, the amount of people that flame Thompson. It's like, it's NA pub, so everybody gets flamed, even TI winners. For this sort of thing.
The chains into Bloodright, guaranteeing a lot of damage here. I think he just did one thing of multi-shot to try and slow down the hero so he could get some distance. It's not going to be enough, though. Eventually, he's going to be run down here. Mickey does a bit of damage, but eventually, OG, they finally overwhelm Liquid in this top lane, and now they're set up to actually get some damage on that tower.
Another illusion rune for Koikfa. He keeps getting these with the Dragon Knife.
Okay, so we had 2 regens. Out of 4 runes so far for Thompson, and then 2 illusions.
And 2 illusions for
Koifa.
On DK, and then he just kills a kobold and gets a jelly. Bro, what is happening with the random chances in this game?
It's RNG. I mean, at least it's even. You know, it's incredibly good for both sides.
Gaben giveth and Gaben taketh.
Or maybe he just giveth. Two different times.
Maybe he just giveth.
Yeah. That's all he does. Well, they do manage to keep that Lifestealer back. You could see Mid1 wanted to try and keep that tower safe, but eventually decides, okay, this is too much. He heads to the other side of the map, and we have the classic exchange of tower, safe lane tower for safe lane tower.
I do want to go all the way back and say, by the way, that play where Boxy got ruptured and then he ran right outside of the arena radius, that was really cool.
Yeah,
there's been so much happening since then that I didn't get to say it. That was so cool to see. And then barely surviving, it's like, all right, that's the sort of play that you want to see work, right?
Yeah, this is the sort of plays we want to see between OG and Liquid. Fast plays that results in maybe a kill here or there. A spear out on in, catches the Ember Spear and locks in this Bloodseeker into the arena. Just a beautiful wraparound from Liquid that pays massive dividends.
Man, this Mars ulti, they have so much damage to throw into it. They have the Drow arrows, they have all the CM nukes, the CM ulti, they have the DK spell, it's Fire Breath, you have the Phoenix Egg, the Phoenix Fire, like, there's so much to put into this ulti, and the only hero that can really deal with just getting outside of it is the Lifestealer, but still, there's silences, there's disables, like, if you get caught by something, it's just like Kyle was saying, like, you're dead. Liquid has a lot to throw into this Mars ult.
And while we've been elaborating on all the fun stuff that's been happening between both sides, Liquid is now up 5,000 net worth. It feels like it happened very quickly, but they are up a massive amount for 12 minutes in. This is a very big kill, though.
Yeah,
gonna be able to catch Koifa in his dragon form. Not sure what he was doing that far out by himself.
Yeah, that's basically the biggest kill that they could have hoped for. And I think if you're Koifa, that's like, oh man, I was out of position. Like, I was too far up. They didn't even smoke on him. They just ran out.
Look at this, OG. I love how quickly they're playing this now. They throw the gust out, but it only pushes back Thompson as Mid1 pops out from the infest to deliver a blow to Liquid once again. Back-to-back kills. I love it when people do that, by the way. When they get a pick off and they say, we can take any fight against them right now. Let's smoke and go.
I think it's what they needed to do. I don't see how you fight into this currently with... You have to start with a pick-off if you want a team fight. You have to get some sort of 4v5 scenario. And yeah, I mean, that's the way to do it. And I think if you wait just a couple of seconds, people are going to finish the camp that they were at, and they're going to run back and sit in their towers. Yeah. But like, if you go immediately, a lot of people will be, I'm going to get this bounty rune, I'm going to take this one camp, and then I'm going to go back.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's OG though. This is like one of the fastest teams in Dota when it comes to aggression. Like, they are aggressive to an absolute, you know, like even if it's awful, they will be aggressive.
They established, I think by themselves, they established a meta of aggression. Now, I know a lot of people have problems with that. They're like, Cap, did you not watch MVP Phoenix? Like, yeah, of course, I casted them. But MVP Phoenix never won 2 goddamn TIs. They didn't go through and make upper bracket finals against LGD with that kind of aggression, you know?
This is true. Yeah, OG's something else, man. Well, they look good. They look really damn good.
Yeah.
But Liquid, I mean, I feel like Liquid's I honestly think that the fact that there are even going to be tiebreakers in this, the Liquid's in the tiebreakers, that comes as a shock to me. Like, I think this team is so high caliber, even for the group that they're in. I think, like, they're the only team that took a game off of Secret, right? So I feel like this Liquid, what we're seeing right now, is them in their full form. I think the games that they lost, they kind of threw.
Nice sidestep there from Thompson, reading the spear, making sure he gets the haste rune, and that shackle shot lasts long enough that the Bloodright will catch Taiga. That's a kill streak as well. So another pretty decent kill for OG, and 5,000 becomes 3,000 just like that. Liquid is beginning to lose some control of this game. Koifa with the Blink Dagger pickup denied, but his No-Tail gets the telekinesis to stop the aggression there. And well, it looks like OG, they don't really care if the Dragon Forms pop. They're still here in force.
Liquid really just needs to take any fight with 5.
Look at this Thompson guy. He's just insane. He's gonna get caught by the arena spear.
I mean, when he spoon feeds it to them, it makes it kind of easy.
It's like it's daytime and he's running behind the tier 1 tower, you know? Like, they've got vision of him doing that setup. It does create enough space for mid one to get that bottom tier 1 tower, but I feel like that was not necessary.
Now, there's quite a lot that can catch Thompson out in this game, now that Koifa's got the blink.
Koifa actually blinking back in here. The rest of his team is going to be joining him soon, but his dragon form is worn now.
I really do feel like we're at the point, okay, I hear a rupture.
Yeah, Dragonite going to be initiated on a hard hero to start a fight on, but Thompson, he catches two of the supports in this back line. Now that they see those heroes, nice shackle shot follow-up from Saksa. The Blood Right is going to come in. That's going to be a lot of damage, but they do manage to get Taiga out there, diving through a lot of these heroes. Bumping back, a decent amount of damage on the set, but Mickey's got to be careful here. They do have the Phoenix Egg, but they don't have the Fire Spirits behind it, and he can never feel comfortable enough to pop it here. And Liquid, they completely lost their chance of being able to take a fight purely off of that chains into
Insania bought back.
Insania bought back, Freezing Field going out, no stun there on the Thompson. Otherwise, maybe they could have gotten a kill, but instead it's a dieback for Insania.
And 50 seconds on the sideline too, and we've seen what OG does whenever they take a pick off. Like, they just continue pressuring. I think if you're Liquid after that fight, you're like, all right, we need the Mars ulti to fight. Like, this is the thing that we're throwing all of our stuff into. Without this ult, it's pretty hard for us to fight, and it's not a very long cooldown to wait for. It's just that with all of the pickoffs that have happened, I think that Liquid is feeling a little bit of a pressure to, like, all right, guys, let's just engage in combat. Like, oh, they can't fight us, you know?
Yeah.
But when you lose, like, 2 or 3 heroes in a row, that changes. You're giving net worth, you're giving XP.
Boxy going for the TP out. The shackle shot, it's not going to be there.
Now, the Blood Right only has vision right in the center, in the little eye, for whatever reason. Mechanics or whatever, but otherwise I think he would have been very dead, and then it would look very, very bad for Liquid.
I said some of the downside, right? Like, I described it stand and deliver, right? Because we've got this arena, we've got the egg. Like, Liquid can stand in an area and just turn and fight back against OG, but one of the things that comes with that is commitment. And I think what's a little bit hard here is OG has so much long-range poke, right? How do you stop a slight shackles into Blood right? That's a very awkward way to be able to initiate, and it's making it difficult for Liquid until they find the clean initiation like they just did on Thompson. A rupture onto Mickey. He jumps back to the high ground. Liquid still respecting OG in the team fight. Taiga's gonna come through, try and slow down Seb just a bit. They do manage to get the spear onto him. Mid one's gonna pop out. Not what is saying Seb any longer. Good play by Soxa, just trying to slow down Mickey. If he gets on top of anybody at this point with those frost arrows, it's gonna be hard to disengage. Now they're gonna pop the egg there, slow him down with the multi-shot. Soxa gonna be caught now. A frostbite into the freezing field. Silence follow-up. Mid one trying to armlet toggle his way out of this one, but he can't. Thompson's back up though. Thompson, he's gonna come through, and you know he's gonna get aggressive as he always does. Tries to poke at Boxy here. Liquid staying together as 5, moving back together as well, making sure they don't leave a man behind here. As Boxy continues to get poked at. Here's that slight change into Blood Right. It's an easy way to be able to bring somebody low, but now the freezing field going out for No-Tail. He stole it, but it isn't good enough to get a kill. Thompson is able to commit and get the kill onto Boxy here. Kills a core, and now a 2-man Blood Right, bringing heroes low. Seb's feeling good enough that he can go forward, but no, he had an Infant's Room, thought he was safe, but trapped underneath the Sentry. One stun leads into another, leads into the silence, and Thompson's dead again. And Seb, who thought this was his chance to get aggressive, is now chased away as Liquid do manage to make their retreat a reality.
Yeah, that unfortunate sentry there on that Invis ring, he kind of just baited himself, but man, the Bloodseeker Ember Spirit combo is looking pretty solid actually. Just like you mentioned, the slow poke Like, the way Bloodseeker as an offlaner wants to play is by just running around and getting off as many blood rights as he can, maybe hitting a few supports, but he doesn't really ever hard commit to fights. And Ember Spirit is exactly the same. Wind Ranger is just fishing for shackles, and so it makes it really easy to fight if you're the one on the aggressive. However, Liquid starting that fight with a pickoff using the Mars ulti on Thompson, who is really important for setting up that blood right, that makes that entire fight look so great for Liquid. It just OG constantly with their back up against the wall.
2,000, 1,000 net worth hopping around a bit, but we do have the 20-minute bounty runes coming up. Liquid, they've got all their ultimates up, ready to go. OG, typical OG, not ones to slow down whatsoever. Are going to go through a 3-man smoke here, not even bringing their Bloodseeker or their Lifestealer up for this top rune, expecting few heroes. Not the case. Liquid is here in force, and they're immediately going to be able to get a kill onto No-Tail. As trapped inside the arena, steals Bulwark. Not the spell he was looking for. The Rupture onto Koifa, so that allows T from mid one. He's now here. Seth gets a little bit too close to the Dragon Knight. They've got the Supernova, and the positioning is great. As now Koifa jumps for it, looking for more. They're able to get out of range of the Supernova. Thompson wants to keep them in striking distance, but they don't really have the damage to commit anymore, especially with no more blood rights. Such a key part of this whole strategy, Jenkins.
Yeah, it really is, man. I'm glad you shouted out Boxy's Mars, because he is absolutely delivering in this game. Every single time No-Tail tries to steal from him, it's like, oh my god, he's gonna get Arena. It gets Bulwark.
Yeah.
Like, he has the presence of mind, setting up all of these fights amongst all of these silences and disables to always cast the Bulwark.
And I think that's impressive, because every pro player, they're reminded of that, and then they pull it off. But whether it's Mars or it's Pango, they always make the mistake at least once or twice.
Yeah,
you know,
usually.
they're like, oh shit, I gave up that big spell, guys. I'll remember to do it next time. But Boxy hasn't given it up at all. He, from the very beginning, was like, I have to remember to pop Bulwark and deny this Rubik.
Yeah, I mean, he's been getting silenced like crazy, too. He's the person starting the fights, right? So everything's being cast on him. He got shackled. He got silenced in that fight. He's soaking everything for his team and also setting up for his team.
And the funny part is we talked about the Bloodseeker and like how he's going to be able to do in this game, and honestly, Seb looks fine. What looks bad for OG right now, and a big reason why it's down 4,000 net worth, is Thompson's Ember Spirit has fallen behind in net worth. All the other cores are pretty even around each other, but Thompson, he's just died one too many times, or probably two too many times.
A few too many. I think you could argue that like the team fight of Liquid is definitely vastly superior to OG. And all we're seeing is team fighting. So maybe what OG needs to do is look for more pickoffs. I do want to shout out to how Liquid is sticking together as a team, though. Like, there was the brief period we saw 2 to 3 pickoffs, and since then, like, they clearly have had a talk, and they're protecting their backlines in fights. They're always sticking together. They're getting the egg off during the Mars ulti, and to have the presence of mind to make that call in a game, to change how you're playing, to like, okay, we need to play team fights differently. Like, that's hard.
They're going to bring mid one to this fight. Tried to go for the spear, but mid one, too quick on the fingers. Managed to get out the rage, and now Boxy's initiation leads to his death. A 4 versus 5 around the tier 1 tower, but Koifa, he's still going to go for it. A counter spear goes out for the Rubik, but the silence onto the Ember Spirit. Is the Infest going to be able to keep him alive? One more slide, he jumps forward onto the enemy, but he's killed by the fire. Mid one going to be slowed down, but he sees the opportunity to get on top of the egg. He brings down Taiga, but the rage is going to wear out soon. Koifa knows that. He's going for the kill. He's trying to finish him off, but the armlet toggle keeps him alive, so instead it's going to be Seth trying to get out of blood rights. They don't manage to do quite enough and to Lifestealer, but they do bring down Bloodseeker. 2 cores, it costs them a buyback on the side of Liquid, but still holding on to that mid-tier 1 tower.
And that all goes back to that initiation from Boxy. I think that just goes to show how difficult it actually is to get these initiations on Ember Spirit, on Lifestealer. Like, you need to hit some silence first, some DK stun. You need to catch somebody off guard. Like, if you're OG and you're pressing really quickly, you can actually get out of all of this team fight BS that Liquid has. It's just that Liquid has been playing the fights incredibly well and together as well.
Yeah.
But that was the one fight that they kind of, you know, messed up the initiation.
Yeah, and that was just Boxy's call where he felt like he could outplay mid one. And the truth is, I think you could pull that off on old Mars. But spear style. If there's no animation, if you don't have to turn around to throw that spear, you could absolutely, I think, catch mid one before he pops rage. But This, where you have to blink behind him, turn around, then cast the spear, I don't think that's ever going to work against a player of high caliber like Mid1.
Is he playing on ping? If he was playing on 300 ping, you probably could. maybe they were just testing. They're like, all right, where's he at?
Well, either way, Mid1, he proved himself, and that is an initiation that I think Bo3 is likely not to try again.
Yeah, start with the silencer, DK stun, something that's a little more guaranteed, or jump for the backlines. That's also an option always. As Mars. Man, I feel like we all need a pause. It's been just so much.
Yeah,
so much happening.
We've had 38 kills in 25 minutes, and it still feels like the game is very, very open. And I actually don't know how to feel about the late game. I think Liquid has better late game just because of the team fight, but
dude, it's hard to say, man.
It is, right?
Who knows how Bloodseeker offlane late game is?
I have to imagine it can't be that good just because he goes for utility.
You know what?
But
I actually know.
Oh, you do? Okay.
So right after the series yesterday, I tweeted that I was going to ruin some European pubs with Visage and Bloodseeker. I did.
And you are a man of your word.
I did, and I'm pretty sure most European pros have me on their avoid list now.
Understandable.
But with that being said, I did play a Bloodseeker game. It was going really well. We went to 54 minutes. In late game, the double rupture, if you can get some cooldown reduction, something like that.
Okay.
It's some serious utility. And you're spamming Blood Right on a 6-second cooldown. It's a 6-second silence. So it's legitimately very good. It's kind of like the Puck late game where you go for the giant silence on Puck. It's not a late game carry in the traditional sense where you're doing damage, but it's really hard to fight into a Bloodseeker because he's silencing your entire team.
So that sounds like a feasible game plan for OG to pull off because they've got this neat combo of the Slight to stop Blink Daggers, basically stop Liquid from getting on top of them, and then Shackles into Blood Right.
Absolutely.
And what that can do is force out BKB uses, right?
Yeah,
And then you disengage, then you go back in once the BKB is down. That sounds like a feasible late game plan, but for now, Liquid, as they smoke up, they see an initiation. It's going to be Sox. The forward position of OG will die here as he went for the bounty rings. At least he did pick it up, but this kind of pick-off was led straight into Roshan. And what Kyle said in the drafting panel is he felt like one good team fight that leads into Roshan, and once they have an Aegis on the side of Liquid, it is very difficult for OG to beat them.
It does seem like they're kind of expending all the fuel that they have in their tank just to kill Mickey in a lot of these fights.
And now they are going to try and fight over this one. They do get a beautiful arena spear combination. They take up Mid1 and No Tail with that. The Supernova's going to go out, and nobody's near to stop it. Thompson, he's going to be able to get to the other side of the cliffs here. Insania on the hunt. Taiga's also looking for him, but this Ember Spirit is already away, so let's look for a different kill. That's going to be on Zeb. Bo3 says, how you doing, buddy? Here's a spear, here's a God's Rebuke, and let's go back into the Roach Pit.
Bo3 once again, man, with the clutch spears.
Yep.
That made that fight look so beautiful. They just popped, man. It's like there weren't even heroes there. It's like they've a 20k gold lead when you see a fight like that, but that's the thing. If the fight goes remotely well for Liquid, their team fight is so much better than OG's that it's just gonna look ridiculous for them. Like, it looks so easy. But once again, we saw what happened when the initiation is botched. Like, it's not easy. It's just that they're pressing their buttons together.
Well, it took 2 lives, but Soxa does manage to get 3 bounty runes.
Yeah, that's good. That's some gold in his team's pocket. They definitely need it now.
You know what I love, Jenkins, when I say something and I can see you just don't know quite how to respond.
Don't do that.
You do that like...
Stop doing that.
Yeah, like a little bit of... Yeah, I guess so. Like you're trying not to shame me.
Don't psychoanalyze me in front of all of these people. Embarrassing.
Top 3 net worth for Team Liquid, and they finally have broken into a significant lead, both with the Aegis, now a BKB up, and a spear well delivered. A self-Yules comes out for the Ember Spirit, but it just sets him up for Bo3.
Ban Mars, dude. Ban the Mars. This guy's way too good at this hero. It is so OP right now. Slardar seems like it's coming back too, man. This is Bo3's, like, I don't want to speak too soon, but this is kind of feeling like it's Bo3's patch, man. That D patch or whatever that came out, nerfing all the other heroes. I think Bo3's pretty stoked with how this one's going.
Yeah, he's got to be a very valuable asset for Team Liquid. And he's certainly showcasing it in this game one as Liquid now approaches the high ground. OG, though, you can never count this team out, especially when their backs are up against the wall. This is kind of that poke area where maybe they can bring Liquid low enough to really engage, but you could see Koifa just looks so tanky as they keep on putting some spells out on him. But Liquid, they get the tier 3 and they play it pretty conservatively here. Get that and get out.
Did you know that you can still blink backwards with Mars, with the Bulwark? They specifically changed it with just the Spear. That's it. They hard-coded it for Spear. Did you know that Pangolier can blink and he can cast anything in any direction? That hero ignores turn rates. That's a Han hero.
I didn't know that as well. But the reason I knew that, Jenkins, because you taught me before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're a big Pango player, too.
Yeah. I mean, those are both my heroes, Mars and Pango.
You're loving this patch as well.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't got to play it yet, but yeah. I'm enjoying watching it. I'm definitely enjoying watching this series, which has had a lot of fighting back and forth. But OG, they got to cobble together a game plan here if they want to prevent Liquid from securing enough of an advantage that it'll feel like OG just can't win team fights anymore. It's already a problem, right? When you're down in net worth against a team that has that superior team fight. Just spells that are easier to cast in a lot of ways. Silence onto Thompson. That's going to be Yule Scepter's box. He's going to be able to get another spear. He doesn't. Koifa tried to go for the stun instead. Nice shackle shot, though. And they've got the rupture onto Mickey. This is kind of a really good setup. They can finish off Mickey and be massive. Trying to deliver the finishing blow. They do manage to get that Aegis, but now they're committed. The spear into the Mars combo with the Supernova going off. Mid one is done forever, and it's straight to a silence as Mickey comes back up on his second life. And Koifa sees the opportunity, as always, aggressively blinking forward, looking for that +1, and he finds it in Seb.
Man, finally catching mid one there. He's felt kind of immortal in these fights.
Dude, look at Thompson. Very cheeky. He's trying to prevent Liquid from being able to push straight down mid lane by cutting this mid wave.
Man, dude, the creeps...
Oh, dodge the Dragon Tail with a slide there.
Dude, the creeps were following him.
Yeah.
They can't push mid because the creeps are following him because he remnanted into vision.
Yeah.
That's hysterical.
And that's something that he probably didn't know.
I don't think so, but it's very convenient. It means Liquid can't just beeline it down mid.
Double damage, though, and mid. Oh, Thompson. Again, a good play. A play that, for duress, you kind of have to make. Take certain risks.
His team
but
is
then
up
the
now.
risk became too much.
Yeah, you know, his team has respawned, but then the trade-off is his life. I mean, then again, that was a Drow Ranger with 500 damage, and she did get a proc. So he might just have to buy back anyway. He kind of saved his team's buybacks, but traded his.
Boxy goes straight in for the initiation while OG may still be out of position here. They do manage to hit him with a decent amount of damage, but the Sunray behind him heals Boxy up a significant amount. They're going to double buyback here. Boxy still trying to hold the front line here, but they're going to poke at him. The Blood Right's going to do enough damage. That'll finish him off. BKB from Koifa, and he TP's down. Now it's a question of who's going to get caught in the side of Liquid. They are seriously looking for these kills, but Taiga's away. Look at Insania, a freezing field to slow everybody down. He says, get out, Mickey, get out. But it looks like Mickey has been caught. Insania's going to go for the TP out, but he's not going to make it. Mickey also not going to make it. Big kills for OG. They lost to Melee Barracks, but honestly, when you're 11,000 net worth down, getting a couple of core kills like that means a lot.
I love seeing a CM make a play like that. Just, that's like some Titanic shit right there.
That was some Hodor stuff right there.
That was
Insania
nice.
is just, hold the door, get out.
It didn't work.
It didn't work. Bran was still found.
It's just like
in the wilderness.
Oh no.
The walkers got him. And the walker that's leading the way here is Midwan, the Lifestealer, level 19, is trying to, oh man, he is very poor. Looks like he wants to go for an MKB, I'm presuming.
Needs that. Yeah, they need the damage.
At 32 minutes in, Armlet Halberd.
Yeah, pretty rough. I almost feel like they need an MKB on the Wind Ranger too.
He's got 13,000 net worth, is that right? Is there some items on the couriers?
He's got components to.
So he's got
MKB.
Everything from the MKB.
Everything except for this.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got that on the courier.
That makes more sense.
So very convenient for Liquid there. That, I mean, it's convenient. Obviously, this is by design. They obviously played this game. They had the tier 1 and tier 2 up mid. So you can't just run down mid as OG. I think trading 3 heroes for the melee racks there is probably, this is okay. I mean, you are up against an Ember Spirit who can defend it, but it's a mid racks. Like you don't want to lose a rack just in general in Dota. Like, it gives you such a map advantage. It means the next Roche is super easy for Liquid to get.
So what I'm kind of hearing from that trade is worth it once, but like next time Roshan could be up, or next time OG could potentially break your high ground as a result, or force buyback.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I don't think you necessarily want to keep doing that. You do that 2 or 3 times and you probably lose Dota.
Yeah.
People can just go down mid and throne these days. Level 30s are insane. Late game is crazy. Talents are nuts. Like, really, racks in the ultra late game don't matter that much, but at this point it's super effective.
There's the MKB. Ooh, Scotty for Mickey.
A lot of healing on OG, so good counter in that sense.
And he just as easily could have just defaulted into Butterfly, but then he would have been hard countered by the early MKB from the lifesteal.
Yeah, you really don't see Butterfly too much these days. It's really like Halberd if Harry wants to get
Is Butterfly just garbage?
I mean, MKB is just too good, I guess, and Bloodthorn and Halberd. Like, there are, options.
Yeah, when MKB is a good item, and then there are other... initiation from Zoxa here. The stun into the Blood Right. This time they're going to make sure Boxy can't get the same kind of initiation for the silence. On to mid one. He's in trouble. He needs an infest out. He needs to be able to survive. Pops the rage, but it's not going to last long, as he just wilters under the full force of Liquid. They lean their full weight into him, and that's now 3 heroes dead with no buyback, and Liquid, they're going to go for that second lane of barracks.
I got to see that fight recap, man. I feel like Insania did so much damage. Oh, it's gone. No! GG. I feel like Insania did so much damage in that fight, though, with his freezing field BKB.
And I know it's only been like 5 years of asking for this, but I would still love a button that brings up the last team fight recap.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. 5 years, though.
Get on that.
I think it's hard to develop it in that short of time.
2 devs, or 3.
Tier 4s, okay, let's just go straight for the throne. 30 seconds left for the Lifestealer, 40 for the Ember Spirit. I don't think OG can repel firepower of this magnitude, Jenkins.
Yeah, they've got the Blood Right, but it's a lot of damage.
They look to be able to slow it down, but the Rupture is not going to stop it. And Blood Right is just going to poke over and over again. They might be able to get the kill on Boxy, but Throne is exposed. They're going to go for the kill on a set before they deliver the kill onto the Throne. That is just going to be it for game number 1, as Liquid do manage to take it with just a very strong team fight lineup that is right down their alley. Meanwhile, OG and their experimentation of the Bloodseeker, it looked okay, but not as good as Team Secret.
$1,500 gold. He actually is going to go straight into the pipe here, opting to tank up even more.
Rolling boulder from Zep misses again, but there's the Infest Bomb, and this time Ohio's in trouble. Roar will come out, they have the Magnetize, they get off the silence as well, and Ohio will get right-click down. The Exorcism will go from Mushi, doing a decent amount of damage to that Aggressive. The Borslow comes through, he has no Infest, he has the Armless Toggle, needs to be careful, the Spirit Siphon coming out, the Glimpse back onto Aggressive, gets him back in there. They get the Grave off in time though, the Open Wounds will come through, they have the Kinetic Shield, there's the Black Hole, from the low ground, on to 3, Zep as well as NM1 are gonna get chewed down, 3 dead, Mushi gets a double kill. DJ, are you kidding me, from the low ground?
DJ, God, the crowd, he just goes insane as he hits the black hole of his life. And
likely could just give this one up. The vision advantage with the Hawk does help. But nope, they're ready. They've actually got a smoke. They can bypass the Hawk with this, but
there's no way they take this in time. Fnatic need to get out. Mushi is going to be stunned by the Boulder Smash. They're going to come through. Shao looking for Ravage. Can't find it. Mushi pops the BKB early. Aggressive blinks in. Pops the Rage as well. Still has his BKB ready to go. They really want to contest this and take it down as quickly as possible. They get the refresher for Ohio. It's coming out. Double Roar is ready. Can they find a kill off of this? Maybe he's walking up with the Silver Edge. Ohio's going to get caught first. Ravage catches onto 2. Black Hole counter initiation. Static Storm on top. Aggressive is low. They get up to Static Storm. Shao pops the refresher. It's not enough. Maybe he's getting chewed through by mid 1. They get up the Roar. They'll lose 2. They'll lose 3. They buyback on the Tide. He's got another Ravage. They have no buyback on Maybe. What an initiation from DJ.
Secures another kill, and Tong Fu is going to continue to push. They're not done. Mech still hasn't even been used. There's a hook. Hal brought all the way back to the base. Cleaned up by the fountain. And waddles his way back to the front lines.
Well, like I said, it does waste time, but they kind of need it. I mean, they need to be able to just eliminate somebody from the fight, very similar to what Mu can do for Tong Fu. So if he had been a little bit farther up, he would have been able to throw the hook, but the thing is there was a range creep in the way. There it is. Yep.
Banana going for a ride on the Dindy Express. Welcome to the well. Aegis goes to Tong Fu. And now charging back out. Dindy going to be spotted, and he doomed the chair, and that's a much better choice. Oh, he got him. He got him. Not going to follow it all the way because we got a battle to watch with Puppy. Trying to get away from it, going to be telekinesed back. And they will be able to get him as well. There you so a 1-for-1 trade. And wow, Hal is still alive down there. Engagement breakout as Kuro. Oh, there we go. The hook. Got him. Zhan Xing taking the long ride to Shanghai. Welcome home. Na'Vi is down. Can you say mega creeps? Na'Vi, he got him. One more. This is what you call one for the road.
Man, I can't.
The game for IG. Who leads the way? I believe it should be Zoe. They're going to cut for the shorter path. They storm up the river. Patience from Zoe. Waiting in the wings. Navi's about to be caught. Oh, there's the sleep. The surge. He catches everyone. Oh, this could be a total disaster. Vacuum in. Ravage on everyone. The black hole as well. Light of heaven turns it around. Ravage as well. Stolen by Dendy. Are you kidding me? They turn it around. 4 heroes dead.
5 heroes dead. Chuan trying to survive. Chuan's gonna go down. Puppy talked about the Naga counter. It's Light of Heaven with his BKB. They turn it around. I don't even know how they're gonna do it. Standing ovation from the crowd. The last tower will be going down.
Start the fight with that global and just try to blow up and get on top of that Zeus right away. Get into that backline. I mean, the Rubik and the Zeus are really starting to be quite an issue for them.
Chalice is in with the opener, straight in with the lasso. The tower will fall, but they'll drag back the Ember Spirit into the torrent, cut him down with the Tidebringer. He's dead, boys, but on the side, they find Arme. Arme's dead for 60. Still alive at the moment. And all the use! The dodge! Anna up into the end, dodging the Echo Slam. Somnus, he's trapped here in the Sprout. OG, they'll slowly punch down the Kuka. The stolen vintage Jerax sets up onto FY. OG!
So this PL will continue just to BT split push this game out, get more and more money. And that, for me, is still the biggest problem for Evil Geniuses. Where do you go with this? Fear needs to have that damage-dealing item. But in order to do so, he's got to drop either his TP scroll or sell the Ring of Aquila. And Samel, blink, Dragon Tail stun. Garda's going to be here with the hookshot as well. Laguna bites Samel. The Cogs burn bought them a little bit of extra time. And with Samel down and no buyback, Roshan is a very, very juicy target here for CDEC.
Yeah, EG are going to know they're going for it, though. First of all, it would be pretty obvious from the lane situation, but they also have a good ward around the river area to see that CDEC are moving in there now. I don't think EG are interested in contesting this 4-on-5, but maybe they can delay it long enough for it to be a 5-on-5 if they Ice Blast and Fissure properly. There is no hook shot.
They're all together. PPD, here comes the Ice Blast, ready for the dog! In from Universe! It's a disaster! CDEC! They're going to get wiped from the face of the earth, apart from aggressive. He'll jump out, but the wombo combo perfectly hits from Evil Geniuses, and now they will take Roshan. Samel is back, they'll get the egg into the Immortal. OG right behind Arme, gets the jump, finds the Pugner. Vision will not find a stun. Pugner with no buyback. OG, they were really playing with fire. The Hex down the Terrorblade. Spectral Haunt looking for the frontline attack, but that's why Somnus goes into the backline. The BKB, they're into the backline. Shaker, he's bouncing around. Hawk shot, she stuns on the way through. He has his gone. No buybacks available. Have LGD done it? They're holding Anna. hold him in place. Chalice will find the damage. F5 will die for it. No, really? Anna is actually running away, but it won't stop Arme from blinking up, looking for the tier 3 tower. 2 players left alive for OG. They're the big ones, however. Thompson and Anna on the defense duty. Fortification. It's delayed as much as they possibly can. And now the jump out. Hex, the boy in the bubble. Thompson able to be protected once again. Chalice very, very low on mana. They have a lot, but Arme, he'll change the life with Anna. Thompson needs to be pushed away. Able to do so. FY jumps onto the illusion only, so the hookshot won't be able to connect. But Anna, he needs to retreat. There's so much damage. Anna down. Buyback is available. They still have not taken the mid racks. OG are just trying to delay LGD for the moment. 5 heroes around. The bubble is there protecting the melee racks. Anna, Sunder! Once again, the Sunder switches to life. Arme's back up to full health, but the damage from Thompson, it's good enough to kill off the bait. Buyback is there. Somnus leads forward. They just keep bunching them around, but they're still battling from inside the bubble. Pugner will come to the world living LGD. They're going for the GG push. They're going up the tier 4 towers. OG, they have to hold the line. They have the numbers. 7 from the side with a Dagon Arme, but no! Sunder is back up. It is there. Chalice will fall. They lose the Enchantress. FY pushing around Anna. He's so low. Can they get the die back on him? You bet your Nelly they can. Arme still very, very low. The blast will kill him off. But buyback. LGD want this now. LGD, or can they? Backing up? No, they're not. Terrorblade. BT's forward. The ball is up. Thompson needs to defend. X-Nova very visible. You've got a very, very low life Mirana. But OG, they can't find the target. X-Nova, he's got the grip. He's got the control. He's got the kill. Thompson is down, but ES is up. Where? The Echo slam. Oh, there it is. Forward. There's your slam. There's the dunk. There's the play. Jirax, the savior of OG.
1,500 gold. He actually is going to go straight into the pipe here, opting to tank up even more.
Rolling boulder from Zep misses again, but there's the invest bomb, and this time Ohio's in trouble. Roar will come out, they have the magnetize, they get off the silence as well, and Ohio will get right click down. The exorcism will go from Mushi, doing a decent amount of damage to that aggressive. The Borslow comes through, he has no infest, he has the armlet toggle, needs to be careful, the spirit type coming out, the glimpse back onto aggressive, gets him back in there. They get the grave off in time though, the open wounds will come through, they have the kinetic shield. There's the black hole, from the low ground, on to 3, Step as well as number 1 are gonna get chewed down. 3 dead. Mushi gets a double kill. DJ, are you kidding me, from the low ground?
DJ, God, the crowd here just goes insane as he hits the black hole of his life. And
Likely could just give this one up. The vision advantage with the Hawk does help. But nope, they're ready. They've actually got a smoke. They can bypass the Hawk with this, but
there's no way they take this in time. Fnatic need to get out. Mushi is going to be stunned by the boulder smash. They're going to come through. Shao looking for a Ravage. Can't find it. Mushi pops the BKB early. Aggressive blinks in. Pops the rage as well. Still has his BKB ready to go. They really want to contest this and take it down as quickly as possible. They get the refresher for Ohio. It's coming out. Double Roar is ready. Can they find a kill off of this? Maybe he's walking up with the Silver Edge. Ohio's going to get caught first. Ravage catches onto 2. Black Hole counter initiation. Static Storm on top. Aggressive is low. They get up to Static Storm. Shao pops the refresher. Not enough. Maybe he's getting chewed through by mid 1. They get up the Roar. They'll lose 2. They'll lose 3. They buy back on the Tide. He's got another Ravage. They have no buyback on Maybe. What an initiation from DJ.
Secures another kill, and Tong Fu is going to continue to push. They're not done. Mech still hasn't even been used. There's a hook. How? Brought all the way back to the base. Cleaned up by the fountain. And waddles his way back to the front lines.
Well, like I said, it does waste time, but they kind of need it. I mean, they need to be able to just eliminate somebody from the fight, very similar to what Mu can do for Tong Fu. So if he had been a little bit farther up, he would have been able to throw the hook, but the thing is there was a range creep in the way. There it is. Yep.
Banana going for a ride on the Dindy Express. Welcome to the well. Aegis goes to Tong Fu. And now charging back out. Dindy going to be spotted, and he doomed the Chen. That's a much better choice. Oh, he got him. He got him. Not going to follow it all the way because we got a battle to watch with Puppy. Trying to get away from it, going to be telekinesis back. And they will be able to get him as well. There you so a 1-for-1 trade. And wow, Hal still alive down there. Engagement breakout as Kuro. Oh, there we go. The hook got him. Zhan Xing taking the long ride to Shanghai. Welcome home. Na'Vi is down. Can you say Mega Creeps? Na'Vi, he got him! One more! This is what you call one for the road!
Man, I can't.
The game for IG. Who leads the way? I believe it should be Zoe. They're going to cut for the shorter path. They storm up the river. Patience from Zoe. Waiting in the wings. Navi's about to be caught. Oh, there's the sleep. The surge. He catches everyone. Oh, this could be a total disaster. Vacuum in. Ravage on everyone. The black hole as well. Light of heaven turns it around. Ravage as well. Stolen by Dendy. Are you kidding me? They turn it around. 4 heroes dead.
5 heroes dead. Chuan trying to survive. Chuan's gonna go down. Puppy talked about the Naga counter. It's Light of Heaven with this BKB. They turn it around. I don't even know how they're gonna do it. Standing ovation from the crowd. The last tower will be going down.
Start the fight with that global and just try to blow up and get on top of that Zeus right away. Get into that backline. I mean, the Rubik and the Zeus are really starting to be quite an issue for them.
Chalice is in with the opener, straight in with the lasso. The tower will fall, but they'll drag back the Ember Spirit into the torrent, cut him down with the Tidebringer. He's dead, but on the side, they find Arme. Arme's dead for 60, still alive at the moment. And all the use, the dodge, Anna up into the end, dodging the Echo Slam. Somnus, he's trapped here in the Sprout. OG, they'll slowly punch down the Kuka. The stolen vision, Jerax sets up onto FY. OG.
But this PL will continue just to BT split push this game out, get more and more money. And that, for me, is still the biggest problem for Evil Geniuses. Where do you go with this? Fear needs to have that damage-dealing item. But in order to do so, he's got to drop either his TP scroll or sell the Ring of Aquila. And Samel, blink, Dragon Tail stun. Garda's going to be here with the hookshot as well. They're going to bite Samel. The Colt's burn bought them a little bit of extra time. And with Samel down and no buyback, Roshan is a very, very juicy target here for CDEC.
Yeah, EG are going to know they're going for it, though. First of all, it would be pretty obvious from the lane situation, but they also have a good ward around the river area to see. CDEC are moving in there now. I don't think EG are interested in contesting this 4-on-5, but maybe they can delay it long enough for it to be a 5-on-5 if they Ice Blast and Fissure properly. There is no hook shot.
They're all together. PPD, here comes the Ice Blast, ready for the dog! In from Universe! It's a disaster! CDEC! They're going to get wiped from the face of the earth, apart from aggressive. He'll jump out, but the wombo combo perfectly hits from Evil Geniuses. And now they will take Roshan. Samel is back, they'll get the egg into the Immortal. OG right behind Arme, gets the jump, finds the partner. Vision will not find the stun. Partner with no buyback. OG, they were really playing with fire. The Hex down the Terrorblade. Spectral Haunt looking for the frontline attack, but that's why Somnus goes into the backline.
Shaker.
The BKB, they're into the backline. Shaker, he's bouncing around. Hawk shot, she stuns on the way through. Is gone. No buybacks available. Have LGD done it? They're holding Anna. Hold him in play.
And I think this is something that OG does very well. You know, don't try to get any long cooldowns and abuse it. Keep fighting all the time. Keep the constant pressure on the map. Get the Roche. Maybe they need to get in like one big team fighting ulti. I've watched their Dota buff. They won 4 out of 5 games with IO, and I still don't think Liquid is just not fanning it out. This is the hero that they play the best with, whether from, you know, one, mid, you name it. They just know how to utilize the hero, but would definitely love to see some, you know, big team fighting AoE ulti or something that just breaks the enemy team.
So we had a Darkseer ban in the first phase. Darkseer would be nice if Seb gets their hands on it, but I think that Liquid will ban it. Probably the same things. Any final words? BSJ,
I was just gonna say that if you want to pick Bloodseeker, worry about them having more team fight than you. So maybe go for like a Warlock or something like that to compensate.
Okay. Anything to add?
No, that's it.
That's it.
We
All right.
said everything pretty much.
We did indeed. Let's see what's happening in Game 2 of Liquid versus OG and head over to the draft.
Radiant must choose. Seconds. 5, Hold the horn of Magnus.
Does Bloodseeker work? Or are they going to say, all right, that one needs a little bit more time in the oven. We'll go back to being the real OG and beating Liquid.
I will say Bloodseeker. Liquid won all 3 lanes. And then they also have the better team fight.
Yeah.
It's just kind of at a point where as long as you don't make some egregious mistakes, like we saw them make a couple actually in that fight bottom when Sanya diebacked, but ultimately they're going to win a team fight. You have to use their spells. Looking into this next game, I don't think the Bloodseeker was the problem. I think you can't lose all 3 lanes and you can't not have team fight.
No, pretty much that. When you look at the opening and how they actually entered that game, OGs weren't ever making the moves necessary that their draft had. So you're looking so far the changes. We got the same bans coming out from Liquid, I think are pretty much paramount against OG. You have to ban both these lads out. And same again for OG's bans. These are like the infamous bans against Liquid, I think, at this point. Phoenix is one of their best heroes, and Tiny again for Tiger. It's all about this position 4 for Team Liquid.
Yeah. I think the Phoenix ban is just necessary against the squad because Liquid, they like to have freedom to draft whatever cores they, because their cores are very versatile. So they want to have like Koifa's hero pool specifically open as it gets into the later portions of the draft. When you have Phoenix, it kind of solves all your team fight needs, and it's a really strong laner. And when you have a Warlock now, it definitely shrinks the pool for your cores. They have the Doom as well. I like this from OG. It's something they used to do a lot back at TI8. There's just Mag Troll. We saw Ana buy Vlad's first a lot of the time and just run at people with the built-in Battle Fury thanks to the Empower. It's just a really nice combination. Probably the best Empower utilizer, to be fair.
No, yeah, for sure. It's one of the best combos. I think for Liquid, they just show how they sacrifice Boxy in the draft because his hero pool during this tournament has been like 3 or 4, about 4 or 5 heroes, sorry. And it's always like Doom, Centaur, Mars. Like it's a very small pool, but he just plays it so well and it enables that 4. We saw in that interview how he's saying like Tiger, he wants to have a little bit more flashiness. Yeah. They're giving him a later pick in the draft to utilize that kind of mindset that the team's having right now.
And we talk about the influence Secret has had on the drafts, just looking at what OG just did. Yeah. But it's also about how they're influencing the 3-4 play style. We've seen a lot of 4 positions move into a much greedier farm priority role, ultimately at the expense of their offlane. It's, I think, what makes Zai such a special player for the team, and part of why Secret's so good is because the App Store is always enabled to effectively play whatever he wants and end up oftentimes in 3rd place, even 2nd place in the net worth, because Zai's willing to play more of that aggressive team fighter.
The question is, where does OG take their position 5, for example? Because when you have Troll as your carry, it pretty much unlocks 5 to be pretty much anything because of how strong Troll is as a laner. You'd expect, for example, like Oracle would be the play, but again, being banned out. Yep. Abaddon being banned out as enablers. So I think right now I would gravitate maybe towards like a tree or something again that can have strong lane dominance to potentially shut out this Doom.
I think Entrafurian's more likely.
True, yeah.
Just because whenever I see OG play with something like Mag Troll, right? Like these heroes, it doesn't matter if the camp is 1 stack or 7, they're gonna kill it.
Yeah.
And I think that they're gonna push No-Tail onto something that can have more of a.
Yeah, I think it's just.
I think Shadow Demon also is still underrated.
All of his heroes right now just fare well. You know, the Grims, the Ench, the Furians, trees. Like, it's such an easy position when you have the Mag Troll. It's why it's such a strong combo, because in this position right now, they just pick any No-Tail hero. Okay, they pick the Ribbit that they can technically flex now between No-Tail +1, and it's not like they're showing anything really.
I think you just give it to Soxa in this spot.
Yeah. Especially because how good a game it is right now and seeing big spells, big team fight.
So, still looking to be a more... So OG in the previous draft, they had targeted Koifa a little bit more. They had banned out the Storm Spirit in the first phase. This time it seems that if you want to shut down the heavy team fight superiority that Liquid had, then you may be better off targeting the more support-oriented stuff. So they banned out the Phoenix, like you guys mentioned, the Tiny. Do you think, and now Team Liquid pick up Sand
nice.
Is Koifa going to be gearing up towards another team fight kind of lineup with Team Liquid? Because it looked really good in that game one.
It's open. I think you just don't fear the Storm because you have Mag Troll. Like, you're just going to eat him alive. I like this SK real quick because the Warlock synergy. You have issues with damage output as the game continues, but thanks to Fatal Bonds, it means Epicenter can just straight up shred things. And you also lack that just point and click stun with a Warlock.
Yeah. So I expect this SK to be the 4 though.
Yeah.
because he's going to be the one to be active. He can mirror the Rubik's movements. Like, you can't really put this Doom into that 4 It's not a Tiger hero. So I think this is very much now double annoying off-lane. But is it strong enough against a troll? Double melee?
Yeah,
we'll see.
And to your question, I think Koifa should stick to something more durable. We haven't seen anybody playing Medusa, but I've always loved it against the troll. And it's a bit awkward against Rubik, but after the buffs, I saw it on the patch list. I'm thinking maybe it's viable. OD into Troll Mag is
Fun fact. A lot of pros have actually been playing the OD. A lot of these mid laners have at least 3 or 4 games on the OD in the bank within the last like 2 or 3 weeks. So it is a hero that is being shown some respect, but are we going to see it in a pro match yet?
Yeah, I say it and I almost want to take it back because I've seen OG play this draft against OD, and I know like they're just all in RPM after BKB.
Yeah, it wouldn't be good in this game just because of the aggression from OG. I think against a slower paced team, you could argue it's good, but against this team, not so much.
This is a sick Undying game. I'm not sure I'm a believer in the hero. I believe when we were doing the the qualifiers, we were memeing about it because it took 8 days for Undying to get a win.
But guess what team got the win though? 5 men. Let's go.
Liquid also, I mean, they have a soft spot for the hero as well. You suggesting the OD as what, straight up as a counter to the troll? Is it because of the banish? Is it because the int difference?
I just like having a extra save mechanism against RP, and it's nice to have one on a core. They just go straight for the void.
I mean, so much fight, so much like gusto in Liquid. And it's like Kyle mentioned it in that first draft, and I said my fear to Liquid as a team was like their drafts are so not generic, but like you look at them and go, that's good, but where's the flair? And then I realized how well they play the laning phase, how well they play as a team. You can completely mitigate that point. And same again with this lineup. You go like, wow, look at the team fight, and then you fear how do they get to the point of being able to team fight? And it's based on their natural ability just to play well together that pushes him through.
It's definitely harder in this game though. Undying has such an insane matchup in this top lane, you know, double melee, double strength heroes.
Lanes aren't going as easy for Liquid.
It's a different scenario. And Undying also kind of denies the area control that Liquid were having at the moment. You know, you consider trying to fight them at a choke point when there's an upheaval and a fatal and an SK and a potential chrono. If the Undying can get a high ground tombstone off, you don't want to fight around that anymore as Liquid. And right now their entire draft is kind of concentrated around fighting in this small arena and just executing anything caught. They need something that can play with pace now, because right now the draft is just so slow. It feels like it'll just be the Taiga show, desperately trying to make moves around the map. But how do you gank for a Warlock and a Void?
Do they need ganks?
The thing is though, there's 2 options for Team Liquid right now. They either go for a hero that can prolong the game long enough to get items, so like for example like a Zeus, or you go for something that can be super tempo setting, like a Quap. And then they're the 2 play styles. You go find fights, or you wait for them to make moves, and you have so much damage at the place that you want to fight that OG can never, you know, outmaneuver you, outpace you, because they just don't have enough damage compared to Liquid when they want to fight.
You could do something like a Lina, just not very much Koifa hero. I like your Zeus idea. I'm just worried he feeds, because right now,
but to what we're like in terms of the feeding point, he will feed if there's a strong like if OG pick a super gap closing mid, then sure it will. But they don't have any supports that naturally will kill him. Maybe the Rubik, but it's a hard position.
Cool thing about OG though, and why I always loved when they were willing to first 2 troll, and I feel like other teams aren't, is just because they're also one of the only teams confident at playing at mid. And I'd argue it's exactly as effective as when they play at safe lane, because Thompson's troll is one of his best heroes. So they don't really care where it goes. So if it has a good matchup mid, you put it there. Otherwise, you last pick it to counter whatever they get for Koifa right here, right now.
It depends on the greed. Like, do they still value like the Storm, for example? Like, it's a very greedy core, especially when you have like the Voids, Dooms, even Sanking Fall. There's not a lot of like items. Okay, go for a puck. Okay, that's nice. I don't mind that, honestly. It's the wave clear, same principle as Zeus. It's the team fight as well. It's
the same concept as your Storm and Quap, but you sacrifice damage for extra control.
It's
and because you have Warlock, I think you can get away with it.
Yeah, it's honestly the best of both between like the 2 scenarios. Puck is honestly the one hero that actually mirrors both of them. They go for the monkey.
That's it.
Classic OG. And
I've been told this is not a good hero right now.
No, not really.
I've been told everything's fallen off.
I don't hold me to this, but I don't think he's won a lot of pubs with this monkey in the last couple of weeks. So
is there any reason why they would pick it, as we see the odds still unsurprisingly fit OG, but is there any possibility that they were suspecting that this might be a Doom mid? Because last time they ran the 4 position Sand King for Taiga, they had Boxy on the puck. and they were trying to kind of cut the wave a little bit. Boxy took over mid. Does this lock in a mid puck now?
It's a really good point. I think you kind of have to, because you can't put Doom against MK mid. That's not going to fare well for him. That'll be a free farm MK. I love OG's lineup. I think their scaling power is off the charts. The concern is, and to your point, why puck mid makes more sense is because that Ags timing is going to be super important. Because otherwise, you have absolutely nothing to deal with these BKBs. Sure, you could Doom them. Sure, you could Chrono them. But if they don't die, like, you're losing this fight 100%. And I think an Ags on puck is going to be the big turning point for Liquid in these team fights.
Yeah, this will be the same game as the first, where if OG, they have a bad lane, I can just see Liquid walking it. But the way that OG plays with this troll monkey, their itemization will unlock the ability to go to Roshan, will be able to flood the map, take objectives, and just non-stop fight. If they ever waste a key spell on Liquid, it just means OG can go, like, 10 times stronger to the next fight. So it's classic OG gameplay, but their last 3 games, we haven't really seen them play that well. That's scary, and I think Liquid have really proven that they've bounced back. And
you have real big issues dealing with Tombstone. OG only have to think about their RP, and Seb traditionally is going to play more of a support style mag. They're just going to play around their Tombstone. Liquid, to win fights, you've got Dawn to think about, you've got your Coil, you have Chrono, Doom. It's a lot of big spells, and if you're ever missing just 1, 2 of them, you don't feel confident taking team fights. And every minute that nothing happens, OG are winning and they're out-resourcing because they're going to have empowered cores. So I'd lean OG. I think if it's a different team, I'd lean Liquid. But I've just seen OG play with this style so often that I have to have faith in it. I've seen them win TIs with these heroes.
Either way, it looks like it's going to be a spectacle with all these team fight ultimates. So let's see if Liquid can pull out a second victory as we move forward into Game 2.
That's right, we go from experimenting with Bloodseeker to now classic OG, right? We've got Magnus, we've got a Troll. It feels like OG, they're gonna show, okay, you know what, Liquid, you may have taken that game 1, but that was just because we were messing around. We were trying something new. What about it? Can you beat classic OG?
I feel like this Liquid lineup has some pretty damn overwhelming team fight. And I think OG looks like they have a draft that wants to fight into it. They don't want to take these small skirmishes. They have Troll Ultimate, that's very committal. They have Tombstone, that's very committal. They have Magnus RP, that's very committal. Monkey King ult, like the list goes on and on. And I think this Liquid lineup is just impossible to fight into. With that being said, like Kyle was saying, you do have OG classics here, so you can definitely snowball out of the lanes. If Troll gets huge enough with the Empower, he can literally just 1v5. The same thing goes for Monkey King, so a lot depends on how these lanes go.
Yeah, he was also saying that if there is no fighting, then OG, every minute that goes by, they're winning, right? Because they have the efficiency of Empower farming.
This is true. Yep, definitely. There's no ancient farmers or anything else to kind of make up for that on the Liquid side, so Liquid definitely needs to take the initiative to fight around the map as much as possible.
Trying to body block Seb, don't let him get that bounty rune, and Mickey does successfully grab it. It's still 3 in the favor of OG, and Liquid are apparently going to balk off the Elements.
I would be really impressed if they had the new one already, but you know, there hasn't been enough time. I know they've been busy.
Apparently that's not what the team activity they were up to recently. Instead, they all went and saw a movie last night.
Oh. Okay.
Nice little time off for them to be able to reset. What is, can we get a look at Taiga? What was he just digging his, he was digging a hole where he could be in experience range, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Not really going to make use of it, but.
Nice little juke path though for running away from the Undying. I think this is so cool what they're doing with the Puck Sand King. And they did the same thing against another Undying. It's this idea that, like, you can only deal with one of these heroes. They're very different in the way that they play the lane. So one of them's going to get farmed. At least that's kind of my take on it.
Yeah, and also I feel like it was something I wanted to talk about last game was the fact that at some point in time, Boxy rotated up to the safe lane, right? And they gave Taiga a solid, like, it felt like a good 4 or 5 minutes of him just being able to sit in a lane and farm. And that's what they did last time with the Sand King as well. It seems like to me they're making more of a division, or sorry, less of a division between the 3 and 4 positions, where they're letting Taiga pick up more farm than he used to, and Boxy is going to play more active.
Yeah, and the reason this is cool is because for a lot of other teams, it's like the division will happen because it's forced, but they're actually making the choice. They're like, Sand King is starting with the Quelling Blade and he's farming. I mean, Taiga's a Quelling Blade. He's a position 4.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this seems like a very conscious decision by them. Meanwhile, they're also going to be running the Doom mid, and it's going to be matched up against the Monkey King. I don't know how that goes. I have to imagine that's Monkey King favored, but then again, Doom's really strong. Decay, if he hits this last one, never mind. Get a lot of stacks.
Stick charges against that Undying. Very effective because you're low strength, so.
Does Cruyff have 2 of a Devour? Yeah, of course he does. Even more value than it used to be. It used to be from 2 to 6, now to 1 to 5, I think.
Like that.
So
5xing it is nuts.
Yeah.
I think Doom mid, you know, your melee hero versus Monkey, you're definitely going to suffer. I mean, he's suffering a lot. Thompson is doubling his CS, but you're still Doom. Like, this hero just gets net worth because of Devour, and he can also push the wave with Scorched Earth. He's got the armor creep, which definitely helps.
Oh yeah, that is going to be really nice for him. Interesting that he didn't go Scorched Earth. I assumed it was going to be a kind of like a 4-4-1 max out, but
yeah, that is really interesting. I haven't seen somebody skill this ability early for a long time, especially on mid Doom. It's usually just 4-4-0.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's really cool, right? It's like whenever they can fight around the Sandstorm or like farm around the Sandstorm, Taiga, it's like total free farm, right? And then when those times aren't there, Taiga doesn't have to exert himself and be like, oh, I gotta run over and, you know, kill that range creep or something. Boxy takes the harder farm.
Exactly. It's very cool. And with this, they can have Taiga on the creep wave like this, and then Boxy trading in the trees. You know, where he can take the Undying, waste his time, take the Troll, waste his time. I mean, they're not dumpstering this lane by any means. Troll is doing incredibly well, but I think this is a really interesting concept that they're doing. Like, you don't see this at all.
And as a whole, OG is doing very, very well in all of their lanes. They've got top 3 CS. Way Liquid was able to do a nice job in game 1 with the laning phase. So looking like maybe the shoe is going to be on the other foot here. Taiga, he's got plenty of stick charges, so should be fine.
Boxy cut the wave too. Yeah, this really looks like Liquid is just in every lane. They're kind of struggling to get farm. I mean, this top lane they're doing okay. They're against a mag. This is a free lane always, but if an off lane mag is getting farmed, you have a problem. This hero just gets in power and he can get giga fat in the jungle.
Yeah,
even from the off lane.
Giga fat.
Big boned, I'm sorry.
Please, Jenkins. 5-minute boundary runes are coming up. This is about the time where you see the side lanes trying to assert their control over the lane somehow. Maybe it's by getting a kill, we're pushing in the map, and we're going to see Liquid secure the first blood here and chase away Seb as well. So Insania should be able to get 1 bounty rune at least off of that play.
I was going to say, like, the best thing about getting that kill is not the gold from the kill at all. Oh man, if Seb dies here, he was considering it.
I don't think that's a play you want to make against a mag underneath tower. Thompson,
you got to be careful with that. Yeah,
heals up to full with the boundless strike. No, damn, Mickey, what the hell?
I mean, he's got a big wave to work with, I suppose, so he's not too afraid. He's got a Warlock to heal him up too. Taiga's catching up down here. Once you have the higher levels in the Sandstorm, it's much easier to get farmed.
A lot of neutral creeps there. Taiga takes the opportunity to try and farm around. I love that mid one is willing to come over here and fight against this. He only has the burrow strength, trying to get her out of range of the whirling axes. The range ones are coming up, but it's a bit too far for mid one to chase. Doesn't want to lose out on that much CS.
Good timing for him to go fight like that, though. It looks like he had pushed the wave first, so that actually gave him the opportunity to run over without being too throwy.
I want to keep an eye on camp stack this game, just because I remember Lacoste pointed out yesterday. That was my co-casting partner.
Yes, of course.
Nice 2-man burrow strike and a Doom out onto the Troll. Really good setup, but they still managed to get the kill on Taiga. No tail, going for the deny, and no! I thought for sure he got that, Jenkins, but it looks like he fell just a bit shy, and the Doom damage ended up finishing him off.
Scorched Earth level 1. That's all it takes when you have a haster. He's already max movement speed. He knew, he predicted. And with regards to the camp stack that you were talking about, it's a little different in this game because they don't have a TA to farm them. Like, my question would be who farms it? And it's kind of like Taiga would farm it, but Boxy stacking would give Taiga the lane, so it is a little bit awkward in terms of how they did it yesterday.
Yeah, I was just more referring to the fact that that was something that Fly to Moon just did nothing of. They just seemed to never stack whatsoever for themselves, where you could see, even though Liquid don't have the clearest ways, they've still stacked a number of times. There's level 6 for the Void, so we're going to have to watch out for a kill in that top lane soon. Meanwhile, though, bottom lane getting chased away again and again. Mid one. Not slowing down here. Clips him where the whirling axe is. Needs another hit. He'll secure it. Is he going to be punished for this very deep position? He gets level 6 off of that kill. Maybe that's part of the reason he makes that dive. Is he going to be able to get it off, though? No. Chronosphere comes down from Mickey, and he will die before he gets that chance.
I was honestly shocked when mid one dove that. That felt... I didn't think he was going to get Taiga, but then he does get Taiga. But of course, there's got to be a response that comes to a dive like that. I mean, that's a level 5 troll.
Yeah.
It's pressure. It's really good pressure as a solo troll. I'm impressed that mid one was able to calculate that he was going to get the kill there, but I still don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, that's why I think part of it was the fact that he's like, if I get this kill, I get level 6. You know, and then maybe I'm able to, like, man up and get a kill on the puck or something.
Yeah, and then Mickey just TPs, and it's like, well, all right.
Oh, Koifa, is this going to be worth it for you? He grabs the regen room, but now he's going to be caught as mid one TPs in. Insania, I don't think he's got a whole lot. No, he does have upheaval at level 4, so he's going to try and slow down these heroes, and it's going to look pretty good if the Doom can actually get out. Koifa, he gets away. That upheaval is going to be a big problem for this lineup, too. Troll, I don't think is going to be very happy with that at all. Monkey King may not be so good with that either.
Yeah, you know what? Like, looking back at this Warlock pick, Upheaval seems really good against OG's 3 cores. You have 3 melee cores that just run after me.
They do not have Chronosphere. Mickey still TPs in aggressively. Now, he doesn't get locked down by the Troll, but even that Time Walk is not going to be enough to save him, it looks like, as he is getting all the heals in the world. Another Time Walk goes off, and it's just enough. But they do have the Doom out onto the Monkey King, but Monkey King still fighting strong underneath this Tombstone. A Burrow Strike that misses. Eventually, the Monkey King does go down. No Tail, though, dishing out a hefty amount of damage. You can see mid one does manage to finish a Boxy there, while No Tail being chased down by Mickey. He's gonna get on top of him, just needs a bash or 2, and should be able to get this kill, but he's so damn tanky that it takes a while. Finally, he does die. And Jenkins, I'm gonna need you on this one. I don't know who won that fight.
Oh, man. that was crazy. I mean, OG with the dives, that was nuts. Mickey jumping in like that?
Yeah, just imagine if he doesn't get off that first time wall.
Yeah, what if he gets rooted?
Yeah, he just dies right away.
I mean, this is crazy brawling Dota. I mean, I love it. It's interesting, but good lord, I have no idea who won that. I feel like they both lost.
Just in some way, they both walked away a little unhappy.
All right, I'm going to say that OG won that because Seb this whole time, he's just chilling top. He's just been farming. He's been stacking. He's probably going to get his Blink Dagger soon if he doesn't already have it, or maybe he's going to go for a mechanism. Like, he's got an item if he wants one, which, I mean, of course he's going to get an item. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's huge. He didn't show up to anything. The carry, mid one showing up to it.
Popping the ultimate here to be able to clear through the Ancient stack. I kind of like that just because he doesn't want to leave that out there, you know, for Liquid to potentially invade later on or something. Sure. Maybe not that they could take it, but he could get caught doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, getting that solo XP, like it's on Sven, like, you know, Sven, Terrorblade, like you pop their ults on meta. You just take the Ancient stack because it's so value to get it alone. It's so much XP.
2-man Burrow Strike into the epicenter here with Boxy getting the coil, so they're not going anywhere. They're going to stay underneath this assault of magic damage. And while they had hoped to get the tier 1 tower, and they very likely will, and they don't actually get the deny. Liquid definitely could have teamed up and gotten it, but
yeah, possibly.
Instead, the Siege Wagon snipes it.
A couple of kills, and they finally put pressure onto Seb, who is having a really good game as an offlane mag.
I love this. OG is pressuring that mid tower, and Liquid realize they're kind of out of position, so they smoke up. They need to get to this mid lane as quick as possible.
But they don't have Coil.
They're going to lead off the Golem, and they are going to be able to get the Pro Strike follow-up, but they have the Silence. It looks like the Troll's just not going to be able to get a chance to get off that ultimate. And they still have the Chronosphere, too. They're going to be able to catch 3 with that. Koifa, they need to deal with the Tombstone. It's getting real bad if they leave it up. They do manage to kill it, and backing away from that buyback. They're still trying to find a no-tail a little bit. Mickey apparently not that scared, not that timid about fighting into OG, and that perhaps goes to what you were talking about, Jenkins. It is very difficult to fight into Liquid right now. This early Blink Dagger of Taiga finds another opening, finishes off no tail, while the rest of the team is going to on this tier 1 tower. Monkey King's hopping in. They're going to try and set up potentially an ultimate here for the Doom with the Coil Silence on top of these two. Max going to go down before he gets anything off. Now they just need to be able to kite around the Troll. The Burrow Strike hoping to be able to buy some time for the Doom, but he's caught off by Thompson. Soxon, meanwhile, he's going to be dealt with Mickey, but this Troll keeps on laying the damage out. Finishes off Tyke. Can he get the lockdown on Boxy? Thompson's hunting for him. The urn. Boxy gets a little bit more of a heal. He's got a phase shift, but I don't think he's got the spells to be able to get away in the end. Thompson, as the reinforcements, is deadly to Liquid.
I think the real problem there is it's very similar to the first game where we have Liquid. They take a couple of good fights, they get a couple of kills, but then they don't have any ultimates left. Like you have to fight around these ultis. You're fighting into Troll, Monkey King.
Dude, Mickey's just not scared of being netted.
He has got big balls in this game. He does not care. A lot of the new Faceless Void players, like this seems to be the style of Faceless Void. I think Charlie's the first person that I saw that really played like this. With the halberd. But even with this build, people just seem to be playing around the fact that you're so survivable, especially if you go for the strength talents at level 10.
Yeah, like Treads, double Wraith Band, Magic Wand, plus a strength talent. That is a lot of accessory strength that is put in there into this very heavy stat build.
Yeah, definitely. And armor. He's a powerful boy.
Yeah, 18 armor, jeez.
But with that being said, I do think there's a few of these situations where in another universe he does get punished for jumping into a Troll who doesn't net him in 3 or 4 hits.
Pretty much a dead even game, net worth wise, 7-13 to the favor of Liquid, but an even net worth game I think is concerning for Liquid. It's still very early, but you always got to be thinking to yourself like, okay, if we're not fighting right now, Troll's farming. Troll's in power farming, you know, like what do we do about that?
And these fights are going to look a lot different too when Seb does pick up the Blink Dagger. He's going for this mechanism build. He's going for the just kind of run at you, be tanky build, which a lot of Magnus players tend to do in the early game because the RP is not that effective until the later parts of the game.
Yeah, there are a lot of problems that OG's current team fight has that'll be solved by items, right? They don't really have the best initiation. Blink Dagger for Seb. They don't have an answer to all these silences and control for the Troll, right? But if he's able to get even an SNY would help. Obviously, BKB would be massive.
Greaves on Seb just to give him a little bit of extra HP so he doesn't get bursted, because there's the Puck Silence, there's the Chrono, there's a lot of times here where we're seeing mid one get bursted, and building into a mech is definitely going to help with that.
Yeah, we're seeing OG fight evenly with Liquid when we don't even get a chance to see a big RP skewer back into Monkey King ult.
Yeah, that has not happened.
That's just a killer combo that isn't available just yet until we have that Blink Dagger.
We haven't even seen a Monkey King ult, period. Like, I think he just recently skilled it. I mean, it's a very typical thing for Monkey Kings to do, you know, the ults in the early levels. Like, you need, once again, you need items. Like, this OG draft does really well with items.
Yeah. It goes to show how important initiation is going to be in this, where we're able to theoretically go down how each team wins a fight, right? Where it's like, okay, you get that RP skewer back, instant win. But at the same time, you get the right Chronosphere and blow up the Troll before he gets a chance to cast anything, then that looks like an instant win.
Or the mag. Honestly, like, it's
oh yeah,
the classic, like, who gets the jump? Because I feel like there's a lot of really good targets on both sides to jump. Every single hero offers a lot. Maybe barring, like, the Undying. Maybe barring, like, the Rook after he casts a spell, or sorry, the Warlock after he casts a spell, something like that. But in most scenarios, if you can get any of these heroes before they cast spells, it's really good.
Evan's Halberd is going to be the first or second item pickup for Koifa after the phase drums that he has.
Such a good counter to the Troll. He pops ult and you just disarm him.
Yeah.
He's a ranged hero, so you get the extra duration on him.
They have so many ways to answer that Troll, right? Upheaval, a lot of stuns. Coil is one of the best. You've got Doom that can catch him before he gets it off, as does Chronosphere. 2 BKB piercing disables that are going to have to worry about it. It looks like Monkey King's going to jump into the back line here, and Sadie is in trouble, and the whole team turns around and instantly deals with the Monkey King while Mickey zones out the rest with this Chronosphere. They're now going to jump in with the Golem as they reinitiate with Taiga hitting the 2-man Burrow Strike as the Chronosphere fails. Mid one does manage to get off his ultimate though, looks to be able to trap down somebody here. There's also down by the Tombstone, but Mid one just seems to be suffering in the damage. He can't quite finish anybody off. Boxy does die to the zombies, and looks like Koifa may as well. In fact, he does, but it is going to be in the end Insania and the rest of Liquid winning the fight 2 for 4.
Bro, everybody was slowed to hell in that fight. Like, you had the Tombstone with 10 zombies on everybody on one side, and then you had the upheaval. That was hilarious. But man, that Chronosphere backline jump, Taiga. Taiga's getting such nice initiations here. Like, his Sand King has been consistently impressive.
I think this speaks to your point. That play single-handedly speaks to your point that you said what Liquid has made in adjustments is they're protecting their backline better.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Insania got jumped, the whole team swiveled on a dot and just said, that's the guy we're going for.
Even using the Chrono to zone while saving the backlines.
Yeah.
Like, that's not something that you see often with Faceless Void. Usually it's you chrono the entire team and you use it as like a single target tool to kill one guy, right? That's the new Chronosphere. That's the mantra of Faceless Void. So to see that just speaks to like how they've talked about this. Maybe that's what the pauses were about, but I don't know. Maybe it was mic issues, maybe. But they've clearly talked this through. Like, guys, we just need to stick together in these fights and we're gonna win. Because I feel like in both games they picked really strong team fight as long as they're together, as long as they're pressing their stuff with each other's spells.
Now, what's kind of weird is that OG, normally I'd say, Chronosphere's down, Doom's down, Golem's down, go fight. But they also have this empower farming mechanism, you know? So it seems like more like those downtimes are better for OG just to be like, okay, we can just farm up a bunch. In fact, now to force Roshan.
I was just saying, dude, you're kind of right. I mean, this is how you fight. If you don't have some way to initiate, you just say, okay, come at us. We're gonna Rosh. You have to fight us right now, or we're taking Rosh.
Now, Liquid still has 2 very important tools here, and that's gonna be 1, Taiga with the jump in Burrow Strike on a 2, but he gets caught instantly. The dust goes out, and Telekinesis is command to be able to zone everybody out. They're gonna deal with the Tombstone on the side of Liquid while Taiga buys back. They look to protect this Roshan. The other tool is Boxy. He still has his coil up, so it's dangerous for OG to stick around here.
That upheaval too, man. That is completely devastating for Topson and Mid One. In all of these fights, they've looked so uncomfortable getting slowed
Smoke up,
down.
Seb. He gets the right kind of initiation here. It would be really big. Spot Seb. His Blink Dagger denied, but at the same time, the initiation going out of the Koifa. Telekinesis into the Boundless Strike stun, but here comes the Burrow Strike on 2 with the Epicenter. They throw the Chronosphere, and they catch 3 with that. Meanwhile, the Monkey King, who had already been doomed, doesn't stand a chance. Once again, Seb, and his initiation is completely denied. We have not seen an RP from this man, nor will we in this fight as 5 get wiped from the face of the earth.
Just such impressive team fighting, honestly. The Chronosphere follow-up to the Taiga initiations, like constantly getting 3 or 4 heroes.
Yeah.
And then you have the Fatal Bonds. You have the Puck Coil as well. The Doom is always happening on Topson, so he can't do anything when it comes to backline jumping. He even got rocked. Like, they're just kiting Topson while killing everybody else. Or vice versa.
Surprise.
Yeah, very nice. And they get all 4 bounties as well, and Roche. The gold lead just went up by like 5k.
Yeah, it's a massive swing that all came down to one team fight. And I think all starts with Taiga having the willingness to just go in and slow down Roshan with his first life. He's like, guys, I have buyback. We've got cooldowns that are coming up soon. We just need to stall them out.
And
right?
you know, that's the interesting thing about this, having a Puck that's really farmed as well as having Taiga that's like equally farmed, is that dies, you still have the other that has spells and that has items for team fighting. Like, they're functioning as kind of the same role, and basically you can just throw in whatever hero has the buyback. Like, that was 100% communicated. I guarantee you, he said, I have buyback, I'm going in. Yep. I'm gonna buy back, we're gonna fight this.
Yep.
That's why he did an epicenter, because he knew that he was gonna die, buy back, and then use the epicenter on his buyback. Man, clutch team fighting coming out of Liquid. 100%. Like, this is what you expect. This is what everybody expected them to look like at the start of this tournament.
Now, OG, they may be down 7,000 net worth, but they're certainly not out. They still had this incredibly big late game threat, and we still have yet to see that big RP and what combo follows off of it. Can he get the damage on the tops? And they tried to cut down the trees, but he's hopping away. They caught him with the coil. He's stuck now, and he's going to be knocked down to earth. And soon he will rest below the earth for 50 seconds.
Once again, I'm going to put that one on Thompson. I think that's, you know, they've got a lot of box. I got to say, they all consistently get this to the very high-pitched one. It's starting to sound like Slacks in here, but...
Honestly, you know what's funny about that is I know Slacks is sitting there in the green room right now, and if he heard that, he's just like, what? Why me?
Yeah, he's not gonna be too happy with that one. But man, Thompson, he keeps both of these games. He's playing overly aggressive, but that's what he does.
Yeah, he is a zealous player.
I also have about the highest pitch voice, so I'm just trying to like distract from that by kind of throwing Slacks under the bus.
I thought of throwing shade on you for that one, but
it's okay. I'll do it myself. Okay, he's got the blink on Seb. I was going to say, I don't know if you finished the Guardian Greaves. I feel like we need to see an RP.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to see an RP. We also need to see a BKB on the troll. I think those are two items that cannot be ignored any longer.
Yeah, the upheaval's been way too much of a problem.
Yeah.
But Puck, he's gonna have the Ags coil soon. He doesn't already have it.
Socks him. Breaks the smoke here. Burrow Strike trying to get away. Does not have Blink Dagger up, but he is hidden inside the trees. And Liquid, interesting that they chose to quickly disengage there. They didn't really try and blindly chase.
I think the way they've taken the fights in the past, they've had a lot of information to work with. Like they haven't gone in blind for any of these fights. They've had like Taiga go in blind, but then he sets up for his team to go in with information. So I think not blindly chasing is definitely like sticking with the mantra that they're currently using to win these fights.
There's the Heaven's Halberd build for the Faceless Void.
Still going for it in this patch. I mean, it's only 400 extra gold. I don't feel like that's that big of a nerf.
Yeah, and when it's so good, carry against carry, and upheaval going to be used here to try and bail out Koifa, who gets caught by a smoke here. The Skewer's going to be able to stop that upheaval, but now it's Mickey time. He gets a 3-man Chronosphere. Here comes Thompson, though. He does manage to get out the Wukong's command. Most of his team is dead, but one very important member is still alive, and it's Mid-One. He is laying the damage in, not able to finish off Mickey, but they're fighting around this Wukong's command pretty nicely, trying to disengage and get out, but he's caught by the silence. He falls, and now a Doom on to Thompson. They'll leave him for last, just as they've done so many times before. A second Heaven's Halberd picked up as well. Taiga, just the cherry on top for team fights to come.
Man, Mid-One's life is going to be so difficult. So difficult. And there's enough net worth on Liquid that they can honestly just power through the Monkey King ult. Like, we need to see an RP. There hasn't been a single RP from Seb. He almost got it off in that fight. But there's a lot that he's playing into now. He's got a super farm Faceless Void with Chronosphere. There's a potential Doom. There's Warlock upheaval, so it's hard to get into position. You're getting your Blink canceled by Fatal Bonds. It's a hard game for him, but I almost feel at this point, just use it on one or two people just to get it off.
Burrow Strike initiation on Speed Undying, gonna try and prevent him from getting off. They do manage to use an RP, and it catches Taiga, who's an important target because he did buyback earlier. The Heaven's Halberd, though, going to work. A force staff trying to get him and a coil to disengage. So even though they RP'd, brought him down the cliff into the tier 2, they had, again, that net worth advantage to just power through.
That always feels bad when you're playing a Magnus, an Enigma, some hero like this, where the later and later the game goes and the more of a gold lead there is against you, it's like, in early game, you could have RP'd one person and it probably would have worked. It's hard to make that calculation, but in retrospect, that's probably what should have been done because he hasn't been able to get it off otherwise. But with that being said, as the game goes later and later, it's like, okay, now I need to hit 2 people. Now I need to hit 3 people if we want to win a fight. Now I need to hit 4 people, and then at a certain point, you need a second RP.
Yeah.
Like, you need a refresher orb. And it's getting to that point where Seb hitting a huge RP is almost not even enough. I feel like he's got a 5-minute window where he's got to do something sick with this spell.
So I feel like Seb, he's just going to get torn to hell right now on social media. Oh, God, Thompson. That's another person who's going to get torn to hell. Upheaval slowed him down, and they had the sandstorm damage to prevent him from jumping into the trees. What I wanted to talk about, I feel like it's easy to dress Thompson, that's just Thompson. Why did Seb not go for a faster blink dagger? What is the reasoning behind this Guardian Green? Okay, we may not see it. We may not have a chance to talk about this because look at this. The Rainbow TP down to bottom lane, the initiation leading off from Boxy to catch one hero. That's the Troll, the Heaven's Halberd, and he just doesn't have a chance in hell to do anything. If he doesn't have BKB, nope, he's screwed.
Yeah, Puck is very good against this Troll hero, man. The coil break on the ulti, the silence to prevent the ulti. You can just always use phase shift, even if you're rooted now, which is a really nice change. You know, you don't see Puck too often, but this is quite a good Puck game. Also, a hero that doesn't really go into fights. You're not going to get RP. Once again, it's really hard for Seb this game. There's a lot that he's playing into.
Yeah.
So why did he go for the Greaves?
Yeah.
I feel like it's just it's a timing thing. It's like a preference. Okay, never mind. No tail.
Liquid, man, they're just sweeping back and forth because at some point you know how far ahead you are. Even if you don't get a net worth tag as a player, you could just kind of feel it and you just say they can't fight us, and you just keep running at heroes over and over again.
Yeah, even with your Faceless Void just whacking away at the bot tower, just two-man dive, whatever.
Yeah.
Boxy's build too, he's not even going for the Aghanim Scepter because Troll hasn't had a BKB. Oh, okay, he's got the BKB. Just kidding. Did he just finished that, right? Am I crazy?
Yeah. He didn't have it when he died at bottom.
Okay, so now I think the Aghanim Scepter on Puck is definitely a solid option.
Yeah.
He's going for travels. This is a very interesting build.
Yeah, it really is. I thought Aghanim Scepter was like a guarantee at some point.
I mean, I suppose you have so much BKB piercing disable and just disable in general that he doesn't need it. And I'm not questioning Botsy. This guy's the Puck player. Like, he's the only player that's playing offlane Puck right now. I can't think of another person that plays it. So if this is the build that he's got a Faceless Void, so buffing up in the Chrono is always really nice with that Solar Crest.
Yeah.
As well as it helps him take Roche, which is actually somewhere where their lineup struggles. It's basically just Void that takes Roche. They're great at team fighting, but their Roshing is kind of terrible.
It's a smoke gonna break. Liquid. They get into this high ground. OG, they just smoke themselves, and they're gonna leave this high ground area.
Ooh, they could catch Boxy.
Smoke breaks on Boxy. They lead off with a Boundless Strike, but they don't. Ooh! Jump in from Taiga, but he doesn't get the Boundless Strike in time, and he actually hits the BKB of Thompson. Now Taiga's in some serious trouble as Mid-1 starts going to work on these heroes. An RP on it too. With the extra cleave damage, can they do anything here? Mid-Gate's so damn tanky. Look at that Solar Crest. Look at the Heaven's Halberd. He does nothing to him. He got full time to swing, and OG said, that's it. If you can't bring down a single hero when you've been swinging on him, you get an RP, you have Empower, you're never going to get a better opportunity. We just can't do it anymore.
This is true. This is true. Once again, it was that scenario where the game goes later and later, and the way that you need to win the team fight with the Magnus is just